It's Thursday. Welcome to the Telling It Like It Is podcast, live from Trenton, New Jersey. I'm with your host, Jim Miller, and I'm Lefty Grimes.
We're telling it like it is. For real, not the slogan kind. Actually, we stole that slogan. I won a prize, too.
Who'd we steal that slogan from?
We stole it from the governor, but the thing is he can't be serious, and we are. Thing is generally, if he's using that for a national presidential campaign, it might be trademarked. But I figured the easiest way to find out was just let's use it, and if somebody comes out and informs us that it's trademarked and we can't do it, we'll cease and desist. Get some publicity in the process.
I like that.
That's the play.
I like using his own words against him.
Yeah, well, he doesn't tell it like it is. And who does he tell it to? You know, when you say telling it like it is, when you refuse to meet with patients, when you refuse to meet with a mother or her son, and you pass them off to somebody else, you know, like they can be handed to somebody else in the cabinet, they would say, I'm sorry, we can't comment. You know, when that happens, if he's telling like it is, it's to somebody else. I mean, maybe he's, you know, telling people to get in the way of the program. Who knows? Because he doesn't tell it like it is to the people that need to hear it. That's the sick and dying people the medical marijuana bill was meant to help. And so we took it. And I won a prize. Because I submitted that. You had a contest. Somebody had a contest.
Would you win a joint?
Yes, I did.
What else would you want to win?
Yes, I did. Well, it's for medicinal purposes only. I don't qualify for the program, but actually, you know, from the catastrophic injury to my feet, they're hurting kind of bad after setting up today. And I'm really glad for the first time. I want to thank our volunteers for being here before we went on to help set up, because I was about to cover that topic today. What it takes to get this little bit of stuff get set up. And today we had help. That was nice. So what else is new this week? Oh, did you hear the governor was at the Monmouth Park racetrack for the ceremonies honoring American Pharaoh, the Triple Crown winning horse. And this was the first race after winning the Triple Crown, the first one in 37 or 38 years. So it was a big deal. Over 60,000 people. 40-some thousand was like the record. That's a lot. That's a lot. And when he presented whatever he presented, because I didn't actually see it, so I'm giving it to you second or third hand, but I'm sure we'll see video. He was booed, not a little bit. 60,000 people. If there were 60,000 there, 50,000 were booing him loudly.
What did it sound like when they booed him?
Whoa! It was a roar. It sounded like.
Run, kids, run! Run, kids, run! Governor Christie's here! Oh my God, he's gonna catch you! Don't let Governor Christie catch you! He's gonna eat you! Run, kids! Jax, you better run! Jax, hide! Governor Christie's gonna get you! Jax, don't get him! Jax, run!
We do this every week, it seems.
Oh no!
Well, you know, I got to tell you, you know, at least it wasn't with a group of kids here like last time, because they were seriously looking around.
Christie!
Kids like that, though.
Leave those kids alone!
They're more than just another brick in the wall. Yeah, apparently he got to eat his pudding all the time. For Pink Floyd fans, I'm not making a joke about his weight. The governor's looking pretty good, actually. Compared to how he looked before, everything's being relative. When I say pretty good, if you polled everybody, if you could have the exact body he has now, and he would get about 4% maybe. Kind of like he's doing in a presidential poll. And that's also news. He's going to be talking presidential politics tonight. But what is this we're hearing about? He said he endorsed the medical marijuana?
Yeah, let's ask Jenny Storms. She's our special guest. Jenny, come over here.
Yeah, you can't just say that.
She's our special guest.
Yes, but you didn't say that first.
What do you mean?
You didn't. Hey, this is going to be up. We'll look back, all right? And everybody go, what do you mean, what did he mean? You didn't introduce her.
Well, I want them to come on camera.
Okay, let's pretend like that never happened. So, what's going on? I hear we have somebody here today. What's going on, man? Big surprise.
It's a
for me.
secret. I can't tell you.
A big surprise, and it made my day. Absolutely.
I already announced that.
Where this began. What we do every week would not be happening if Jenny didn't take on the task of having a once-a-week gathering at the State House last year. Now, things being what it was, after a couple of months, she had to go to Colorado and found she could take care of her son, Jackson, in Colorado, where she couldn't here in New Jersey. And she, while we were sad to see her leave, we were glad to see her go for the reasons she did. And I thought she was reaching a little far for a once-a-week thing. You say you're going to do it every week, you got to do it every week. But it only took 2 months for me to see that it could be done. So it was a natural progression that I would step in and fill in every Thursday since, once I saw that it could be done. So it's good to see Jenny and Jackson back on a fairly cool day, and I'm going to give up my... Well, actually, we got a microphone over here. We can hand something over. We got a handheld mic because basically it's good to have a free hand when you're Jenny Storm.
Hi,
Hi,
thanks for
Jenny.
having me.
What's up, Jenny?
Would you like to sit down over here?
No, I'm good.
It's good for the...
It's good for the visual.
Yeah, because I can't really see you. See?
We got to do
Stand
that.
like this all day.
I see you there.
Did you want to bring Jackson over? How about William and Jackson switch?
Okay.
And then you can come in here.
A little housekeeping, ladies and
we'll
gentlemen.
move this table
Excuse
out
us.
a little more too, so you have some room to get in and out. Up you go.
But Jax and Jenny had to move to Colorado because the medical marijuana law in New Jersey is dysfunctional. And she needs to save Jax's life, so they had to move their entire family and everything up to Colorado. And she's here today to visit with us with Jax. Oh, man. Hey, Jax.
I'll stay off camera here because we don't need to see me.
I can see you a little bit.
Coming back. Here we are. And this would be the 39th total gathering here. 39 now. They're not town halls, but we're catching up. We're catching up to the town halls.
Jenny, we continued your Thursdays, and we haven't stopped. And we're not going to stop.
Oh, that's good. Jenny, walking underneath the shirts we hawk out there. $15 Coalition for Medical Marijuana shirts.
$15
Online,
for the
fine.
shirts.
Yeah, but it was nice when you parted them. It kind of looked like walking out to a talk show through a curtain. We could do that. We get a curtain. People could walk through. All right, well, listen, I'm going to let you all talk, and I'm going to sit back and watch for a while. I like that.
What's going on, buddy?
Sit.
That's Lefty getting a phone call.
More housekeeping.
So it was a surprise to see. I came back from getting the permits, trying to hustle out, and right away I thought, wow, I'm out of the loop. I don't care. I love good surprises. This is awesome, you know.
It was so awesome.
And, you know, it's nice now that we do have a... Oh, so good to see you. And we got us a weekly forum. Again, the podcast is Lefty saving this from being just 5 people that bother to gather because it's hard to drum up stuff sometimes. But anyway, it was... this is where it's gone to now, thanks to Lefty and Sativa Cross.
Yay.
And Fully Baked Radio and Coalition for Medical Marijuana for sponsoring. We do this every week. So while thousands of people could go to Boardwalk Hall to complain about Governor Christie, a banner on a plane, it said Chris Christie sucks or something like that, right on the banner. And they do all that, yet every Thursday we show up here to the State House steps because we don't have money for a banner. We don't have buses to get people there. But you showed us what we can do. Just one person can show up, and then more will, and we did for a while.
Yep.
But we don't bang the drum for attendance anymore. If people can come, they can come. They know we're here. 39 Thursdays now. Anyway, I'm going to let you two talk a little bit, and I'm just going to see what it looks like.
Where are you going?
I don't get to talk to people that show up, and there's actually, you know.
You're one of the hosts, man. I'm sorry. You got to sit down and host with us. Come on, man. We got a lot to talk
Are you
about
going
with
to tell
Jenny.
me, like, sit down and not shut up?
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about with Jenny here. First of all, you showed me a story when you first got here that Chris Christie endorsed medical marijuana somewhere. Where?
Iowa. Iowa, of all places, Iowa.
I couldn't find it. Do you have that story on your phone? I want to read this story.
Yes, and I
because-
actually just shared it to your Facebook.
Oh, okay. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And I have friends in Iowa, and that's kind of how I got tagged in it, because they know my story. They know that I had to leave the state of New Jersey because our program is so dysfunctional and not working.
Oh,
There
boy.
you go.
Oh boy.
So yes, he was at a town hall asked by a parent, again, some of the parents that I know and have been working with, and he actually had the balls to say that he endorses medical marijuana.
He didn't do that in New Jersey. He railed against it when they were voting on it back in 2010.
And he still does. He's still trying to make our program not work. He's still making our program functionally dysfunctional. So it is not going to work, and it's never going to help anybody. The edibles for children are still not available. He still has a bill sitting on his desk that hasn't been signed, allowing parents to administer this to their children in schools. So if he supports the medical marijuana program, then why isn't he doing something to support the medical marijuana program?
Right. The Senate and the Assembly passed the bill that's going to help Jenny and Tuffy and all these other children,
Mm-hmm.
and it's sitting. It passed it in like a week.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's sitting on Governor Christie's desk for like a month already.
Just like the edibles one did. He
Oh,
waited
more than a
until the
month.
last second.
How?
That bill's been there since June 29th, as far as we know. You get 45 days to veto it, and if you don't, unless it's a lame duck session, it becomes law without your signature. Now, how is he going to say that he supports medical marijuana and take the heat we're about to give if he vetoes this bill, which would allow children to take their medicine in school? It would not only allow, it would force schools to offer whatever the due consideration they care to do,
Right.
other than not. So this is something that, as we found out, and you were the huge part of, that you don't mess with parents and their kids when it comes to healthcare issues, and whether they like it or not. This is
Right.
quite extreme, and you are now a refugee.
Right.
Because of Christie's support. How's that work out? If he supports it, why are you living in Colorado? Why is that?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Because everybody
That's
might not be up to speed.
Right.
What is it that, in a nutshell, as best you can, it's hard to recap. Give it a shot, though.
Okay, so basically, here in the state of New Jersey, we had a program. Very costly, very cumbersome, very difficult to access, very difficult to get what anybody needed for an adult, let alone a child. Along with the Wilsons, I worked with them and the legislators to get that edible law for the children for oils. And we still don't have it. We still don't have the edibles for sale in this state. And so legally, the only way he can get cannabis is to smoke it. And part of that problem is that, one, he can't smoke, two, he has oxygen, he needs the oils. I couldn't get the quantity he needed and the type he needed. He needs high CBD with a higher amount of THC, which is not sold anywhere. So the way I would need to get the medicine he needs, I would have to basically buy 2 to 3 of everything, which the state won't allow. So I can't get the quantity that he needs, I can't get the form he needs, and I can't get what he needs. I think there's 2 strains in the state that are higher in CBD. One's in Egg Harbor, and it's a 1-to-1, and he needs a little bit less than that on the THC. But again, 2 ounces is going to last him a week. I can't medicate my son 1 week out of every 4. I just can't. He needs medicine every day of every week of every month. And I get that. I get that in the state of Colorado. I also have different forms. I actually have a lotion I put it right here on the wrist. I can rub that in. I've got a salve that's CBD and THC rich. I put it on every joint that he has. Wiggles. Good job, Jack. I put it on every joint that he has, and he goes from basically being so stiff to being able to walk up and down a street. I get sublingual drops. I can put little drops underneath his tongue, and that works. Oh gosh, I can't even think of all the things. And when we say edibles, I'm not going for the cupcakes. I'm not going for...
That's a misconception.
It is.
At a meeting we were at, we found that out together talking to, it was the Assistant Commissioner of Health,
Yes.
who thought that it would be brownies and cookies being sold.
Yes.
He didn't understand the concept of oils, lotions. He knew about lozenges, but
Right.
so I'm glad you mentioned that, because
Right.
it's not actually an edible, it's an oral preparation.
Right. And then I have other things, and there are so many compassionate people in Colorado who make their own medicine for their own children because they can grow. they can grow their own medicine and they can come up with what their child needs. So instead of being at the mercy of a dispensary, is it in stock? Do you have the oil today? What can I do? They've actually taken the initiative. They grow their own cannabis, and from that, they then make their own medicine.
Can I ask you, I don't want to interrupt, but when I clear my head and I try to hear this like somebody that didn't know a lot about it, you might real quick recap what it is that got Jackson where he is today. I mean, what is his reasons for specifically, quickly, because it really helps people understand the importance when they know specifically, and hearing from the mother's mouth is the best way to hear about that.
I think you just want to hear me cry.
No, I don't. I don't really like that, but it is relevant.
It is, absolutely.
Because we know what you're saying and the monumental
Absolutely.
nature of what you're talking about and how it affects so many people, but to understand why you would do this and
Right.
why you would go to such extremes, we know it's that important, but
Yes.
just a little bit. So
Absolutely. Well, and here's the thing. In 2012, I was basically told by the doctors that Jack was going to die. It was just a matter of time. Like sooner rather than later. Not like hospice die, but we don't know. It's going to happen quickly.
as a result of
He has what's called Dravet syndrome. It's a catastrophic form of epilepsy. And he could have a seizure tonight and die. And he still can. But the difference is back in 2012, I was basically told we were out of drug options. Now, keep in mind, at that time, Jack has failed 62 drug combinations. Wow. He has failed 2 brain surgeries. Part of his brain was removed, and then the 2 hemispheres were split. He has had 3 VNSs. He's had his 4th one since we moved to Colorado. And none of them are stopping his seizures. He's also failed the ketogenic diet 4 times.
what's that?
Ketogenic diet is a nutritionally deficient, restrictive, high-fat, low-carb diet that actually does control seizures, and it works for many. It's a hard work. It's really strict, and it's hard. It's just a really hard diet. And because of that, he actually encountered some growing problems and some other stuff because the diet's so nutritionally deficient. But in 2012, I had everything to lose and everything to gain. And I was basically told about cannabis. A friend of mine, Jason David, out in California, is treating his son Jaden with Dravet with cannabis. And as crazy as it sounds and as anti-marijuana as I was at the time, because it's a drug, I bought into the Nancy Reagan thing.
And you for those who don't know, are a nurse, so you know
I
what
am
you're
a
talking
registered
about.
nurse,
Registered
yes.
nurse, okay.
So I did, do my research, talk to Jason, and again, I have everything to lose. My son was going to die. But I also had everything to gain because none of the drugs were working. And I tried it, and we had been trying for 3 years to wean him off phenobarbital. Phenobarbital was not working for him. And it was torturous. And I started it, and all of a sudden, my son became alive. He started listening at school. He started doing all these things at school that no one expected. His vocabulary increased. He was, instead of like 3-word phrases, he was starting to speak in like 5-word sentences. It was amazing. He was watching an hour-long video where before he would watch a 3-minute segment and then move on to something else. And so within 3 months, he was off the phenobarbital. And that's what started it, was we took him off it. Now here in New Jersey, our program had passed in 2010 but had not opened. There were no card holders, there were no dispensaries, there was no way to access it. So I found a way to get him this medicine, and it was amazing. It worked amazing for him.
What was the first form that you had?
It was a butter. It's always been some form of an edible. It was in a butter. It was suspended in there, and I would just give him a little bit of butter with whatever he was eating. Put it on a potato.
How long to result? How long till you realized you were onto something from the first time he took some butter?
First week. I knew within the first day, but the first week was definitely solidified it. And through the last 2.5 years, almost 3 years now, we have managed to wean him off of not only phenobarb, which is a barbiturate, it's a narcotic. He is also no longer on Klonopin, a benzodiazepine. He's no longer on Onfi, another benzodiazepine. He's no longer on an experimental drug that comes from France called steripental. He's no longer on the ketogenic diet, and he's no longer on Depakote. He's on 75% less of his highest dose of Keppra, and he's on 95% less of his highest dose of Banzel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That is.
Yeah.
And I might say, over the course of a lifetime, it hasn't been that long that we've watched Jackson progress, but we've seen a difference from the first time we met.
Yes.
To
And
now.
he's had some regressions. When we left last summer, he wasn't doing well. The doctors had reintroduced a benzodiazepine into his world of medicine. Just, heck, what's going on? Let's give this a try and see if maybe he needed it. And he spent almost the entire summer last year in the hospital. And the doctors basically came to me and they said, since the cannabis is working, we have nothing to offer him, and he can't be in the hospital because there's nothing for us to monitor. And so, it became very apparent we need to leave, and we needed to go to Colorado. And so, the doctors were honest. They're like, you're here, and he's having all these medical emergencies, but you're treating with this other stuff. All we're doing is observing, but since we're not giving or doing anything, the insurance is going to kick you out and give you the bill. So we had to. And then when we had that meeting over here at the State House with
the Deputy Commissioner of
Yes.
Health, the Chief Policy Advisor for Healthcare Issues,
Yes.
Mr. Schwarzenberg.
Yep.
And
it became very apparent nothing was going to change.
Now, this is something we all kind of knew. I have maybe more hope. I like being optimistic because I can take it and bitch slap by circumstances too.
Right.
Because it's like it's not as personal for me in my own life as it is for you and as it used to be for me. But what happened was you confronted Governor Christie at a town hall meeting, and that was widely played. He had no real choice but to offer you something, so he offered you a meeting with these people.
Not himself.
No, not himself. But this was the Deputy Commissioner of Health. So these are people that were very easy to, you would want to talk to these people. You're not going to say no. But the fact that
Hugs.
the fact that that's as far as it went, he still hasn't met with a patient. And as you can see, we love meeting with patients. This is going to go on all day here, too, because it's a surprise to everybody, Jenny being here today. But we were talking about that it's telling it like it is, the governor says, and he supports medical marijuana. Now, how is it that other than you and two other mothers catching him at a town hall meeting, and Ricardo catching him at a town hall meeting, and Brian Wilson with Lefty Sativa Cross photographing, it was the famous Governor, please Governor, don't let my daughter die at a diner. But other than catching him somewhere, he has never had a meeting with a patient. So how does he square saying he supports medical marijuana when he has refused to meet, not just couldn't, refuses to meet with them? So it doesn't square up. And now you're,
Well, and here's the thing. The parents in Iowa have learned from us. The parents in Iowa, at a town hall meeting where Governor Christie was there, cornered him with a marijuana question.
Really?
Yes.
Good for them.
Because it was at one of those presidential meet and greets.
No, he can't avoid them now.
No.
We need maybe to make sure people in Iowa and New Hampshire especially understand that we could use some help reaching him, because we come here every Thursday, but he's always in their neighborhood.
What a phony.
Help us out.
Come on, man. We got to fight this guy.
Stop spreading lies. We're not going to go away. We know what he's saying.
Now, he said he supports medical marijuana.
Lie.
Do you recall what the nature of the question? Because he didn't just jump out and say, "Oh, by the way."
No, it was a question by one of the parents. I don't know the exact wording of it, but it was generally towards what's your position on this, and it was a general question, and that's when he came off and actually said that he supports medical marijuana.
And I'll bet he had very few words after that, though.
Well, and it's really sad because he is flip-flopping right at this point, trying to find a new position, because I bet you someone's saying, dude, you need to change your stance on cannabis. At least say you support medicinal.
You know, now, a very good point. And what we offer him is, after, he's going to be in a debate tonight. He's going to be debating people who take debating seriously tonight. And he's able to handle that because he gives as good as he gets. He's from Jersey, tough-talking guy, telling it like it is. So why is it that he can't come sit down at the podcast outside his office every Thursday? Don't you think that that's the kind of thing that would convince people that he could actually tell it like it is? Because as long as he's, I'll say, afraid to come sit down there because he doesn't know exactly what the questions are going to be or the topic, if he wanted to freewheel it, he can't do it. So I call on Governor Christie. I think you just got to say it in a voice like that to say you call on him. To sit down and talk. He could have been here. Well, he's going to be going to Cleveland today, or if he's not already
Well,
there.
he's walked through the cones and walked up here. How many times when we've been here?
Yeah, we don't.
And he won't even glance at us. He won't address us. He's nothing. I mean.
Well, he's stopped and,
But it's not even cannabis. This is our
If
issue
he comes
with him.
by, he wouldn't walk by without saying hello, and he would. But he has his people ready to turn him in before anything can go on.
He's not going to stop and have a conversation.
No. Well,
but he's going to have to address the retirees, the police force, the teachers. I mean, there's so many different things that are plaguing him. Bridgegate, he needs to address all these issues in New Jersey if he's going to destroy the rest of the United States. And I really don't think he has a chance. But believe me, I'm going to be there when he lies. I'm going to say, you idiot. The reason why I left New Jersey is because our program doesn't work. Our program for medical cannabis is a joke. It's an absolute joke for everybody. I've had to uproot my entire life. I've spent thousands of dollars just trying to move.
That's not now. Back me up on this, because you're the one that's done it.
Mm-hmm.
How hard is it just to do? Well, why don't you just move somewhere? Why don't you? It's always the why don't you just move thing. Like, there is no just.
Well,
moving.
it's easy for people to say that because they don't live the life, but they don't know what it's like to have a child who seizes in a moving truck.
And they've never had to move either. Most people would say, why don't you just move? Or in a house they bought when they were in their 20s.
Right. Well, but the thing is services. It's taken me 9 months, and I still do not have all his services back in place.
That takes time to get in that system.
It takes time to get into the waivers, which has a 9-month waiting list. Now we're in that, but now I can't get him into the school he needs to get into because they're closed and they're not taking anyone until January.
Could he take his medicine in school?
In Colorado, he can take his medicine in school if I go onto campus, administer it, if the district in which I'm in, which I believe my district is going to, allow me on campus with it. I won't be arrested, I won't be violating the drug policy, but the school nurses will not administer it, cannot administer it.
So you need another law in Colorado like we're trying to get passed here. Would that be something? I mean, think about the possibilities. We could lead Colorado on a medical marijuana issue.
I believe your law was written similar to the Colorado one. It's not the school staff that's giving it. It is a parent being allowed to go on campus.
I have a copy of it. I'll look at it. But I believe the school nurse can do this.
I don't think so. Yeah. I believe because I worked with.
How about a caregiver? In other words, does it have to be? It doesn't have to be the parent. Could it be somebody they assign? Because
I think it's got to be the card holder, doesn't it? The person that has the card.
Again, you're giving parents more work to do when they should be helping these parents.
Exactly. I mean, it's just
and in Colorado, it's no better on this particular issue. It's no better, and it's ridiculous.
That's why I want to lead.
So if I'm a nurse, even in Colorado, and I've got a patient, I now need at noon to leave that patient, go to my son's school, give him his meds, and then go back to my assignment. It's never going to happen.
I'm gonna look that up when first time I'm not holding on to a microphone.
I believe it is caregiver only. I believe your law was mentored after the law that just passed in Colorado, because Ken and I were talking about it. So it's wrong. It's just wrong.
Yeah. Well, it seems again. So even here in New Jersey, what we're hearing is, at best, we're going to end up with that proverbial half loaf here,
and or quarter,
or less, because what it takes for you to do that. Now, tell us. I mean, what incredible procedure and dexterity and training does one need to administer oil to Jackson, for example? What would that involve? What would it be that we, God forbid, could have a school nurse do? Is it really intricate? Is it complicated? Is it timed?
No, it's not. It's just like if I were to give him liquid Banzel, which is FDA approved.
Is it under a tongue, a drop, or a measured dose?
It's a measured dose, and again, it's a Banzel bottle, has dosing on it. They would have to shake it up and pull out the right quantity of the liquid. Some of the kids get a caramel. Some of them get a gummy. And it would be in those.
Then that would be another third of a loaf. Then we could go from this little bit. Maybe we could get up to an oral thing you could just give them.
Where I see this needing to be changed.
It's amazing.
Where this needs to be changed is on the federal level. We need to get through all of this stupid nitpicky state baloney, and stop having this state say one thing and this state say another. The fact that I legally can't take my son out of the state of Colorado is so anti-American.
Yeah.
why can't I go see my family in California? Why can't I come see my family here? You guys, by the way, are my family.
Thank you.
So
We got good family, Lefty.
we do.
We do. I don't know about you, but we do.
You know, but why can't I come see you guys? Why can't I come see my friends that we've made in the last 10 years and being in the state? There's no reason other than superiority of idiots like Ashlinger and Christie and all these other people who think they know it all, and they really don't. They need to stop pretending to know anything, because they don't.
Having a specific plan, like to hand off to somebody that might want to look into it, is always a good idea. And we do have one rare advantage in New Jersey in having Senator Cory Booker here.
Yes.
He's a man who, if him or his staff would listen to exactly what you say and take it very, very seriously. Now, it may take time, it may whatever, it take longer, but this is input that I believe he would like.
Absolutely. And Cory Booker's got a lot of pressures from all sides because he can't really go too fast.
Right, or too far.
And the problem is no matter what he does, it's all too slow.
Well, this could right, but to start sooner or later, like.
Yes, agreed.
You know, it's when I was 15, I had a chance to start playing the guitar, and I didn't because I knew a guy that was 12. He was awesome, and I was 15. I was so old by then. And when I got to be 20, I'm like, damn, look how good to 17. I'm going out paying money to see a guy at 17 in a band. If I'd started when I was 15, and when 25 came around, I said, I'm stop fooling around. I started learning to play the guitar 10 years too late, but yet now I look back and think, good. So while it is too slow, I would think we don't want to make it a self-fulfilling prophecy by taking our time and reaching out to Cory Booker, however long it takes from his desk, it takes. But so I know that you have so much free time and don't know what to do with it. If there was a way, you would be the one to write down a synopsis about what you said that we could get to him, because we're going to be approaching him about matters as it is.
And I have, in the whole year before we left, I was talking to Cory Booker's office quite a bit. Jim Price and I actually went down to Washington, D.C.
Right. Yeah, and I went with Jim as well when he introduced the CARES Act. We were, through his office, able to get to do that. So he does react. He has.
Oh, absolutely. He's listened very, very much to us.
That's why you, at least getting that together, and as we could present it to him at the most opportune moment, shortly, let's get him on board and see if he agrees that there's something they should do at the federal level.
Absolutely, and he is with the CARES Act, and there are some competing parties, and I'm not talking the anti-cannabis people, but you've got your CBD only, there's a bill out there, and then it just confuses everybody. Yeah. It really, really does. It confuses. In fact, Cory Booker actually, at the hearing on the CBD only, actually spoke about Jack and I, and us having to leave the state of New Jersey. Hold on.
Well, CBD only.
It was a hearing for the CBD only to take it out of the whole Marijuana Act.
People need to understand too that you can't, for what you're doing with Jackson and other childhood epilepsies, you can't have CBD only. It has to have some degree of THC to work.
Correct.
So CBD only, it's a misnomer that's people wonder, is that even a medical marijuana law at all?
CBD only actually does work for some of the smaller kids with some certain types of epilepsy. Most of the epilepsies need the THC, and they need higher amounts as the kids get older. So for Jackson, he's probably at a 10-to-1 now with his ratio, because that's what he needs. He needs that THC. It's still higher CBD, but he needs a significant amount of THC. He's not high, he's not unable to function, but he gets THC, and he does great.
How long till he's going to be 18?
Oh gosh, he's 16 now, so he just turned 16, so almost 2 years.
Didn't know exactly when his birthday, so he's going to. Which was your concern here for oral preparations for children only? What happens when they turn 18?
When they turn 18.
That was a huge consideration, and what would you do here? The idea of it's okay for a child, and when he gets to be 18, it gets taken away. That's absurd.
in the form he needs.
From this in a state now, may I reiterate, with a governor who recently said that he supports medical marijuana.
Absolutely.
We need
And yet he
clarification.
signed a conditional veto allowing for minors only, and we still don't have those
well,
oils.
you know, it's the legislature has not done their part either. I might say I pointed this out so strongly at an Assembly Regulatory committee hearing on medical marijuana that when I was done saying what I had to say, and I stopped abruptly and said to Commissioner Goussior, was I yelling? And he said, yeah, you're yelling a little bit. And what I was saying is that he told me in August that he would sign that bill. We talked about that to the big three we met with, and none of them objected. Nobody said no. They knew it. It's
I have something to say.
It's that he would, if the he said, if the legislators got a bill to his desk that would address just this for adults only, he would reverse his veto. He'd said he'd reverse his veto. He said that publicly.
How do you reverse a
Well,
veto?
no, okay. Listen, now I got your attention.
Yeah.
What do I say?
Wait, what?
How do you
Come on,
reverse a
come on.
veto?
You'll hold on.
Okay, do you want a picture?
Everybody's gonna wait while you get a picture. There's like millions of people all over right now waiting. How many millions of
Wait, they
minutes?
paused.
Many
What's going on?
man-woman minutes. He said he would sign this if the legislature got a bill that would allow edibles, oral preparations for adults. He would.
I remember him saying that.
No, he said that to me in August publicly at a town hall meeting. He was very specific. And you can even sit right with me when I sign it, which of course I would love to say we would like a seat, not for me, because it's not for me. But the point is he was very specific about that. He would sign if it was a standalone and it didn't have anything else in it about anything else.
But the legislature cannot in this state pass a single item bill. Everything's got to be pork barreled and rolled something else in there.
Then we may take some of our ire towards our friends in the legislature and say that it's actually you who is the reason that we don't have edibles. I can't, as much as I'd like to keep blaming the governor, it's his problem originally, but I'm going to one time in my life stick up for the governor. I don't think it's his fault at this point that we don't have an edibles bill. He's spoken quite clearly about that. And it makes me wonder when I mention that to the regulatory committee, specifically, I said, don't let it become a
Sorry.
You got to take part and get this bill to his desk. That's all they got to do. And it can be done, and it's not. So, Governor, I just stuck up for you. I'm going to have probably really bad luck, and bad things will happen to me now, and we'll know why. But on the other hand, our supporters in the legislature should take this more seriously and get it to them, and I don't know why with me virtually yelling at Commissioner Goussior that this needs to be done. It's not off their radar either. And there's probably some political reasons I don't understand. I'm not saying there's not a reason. I don't know. We all assume that things can just get done, and I want to say we all, not you, and not me, because we know better. There's so many considerations, and like you say, you have to return favors, and if you don't do favors, you're not going to get anything done, and you're not going to pass law. It's a nasty game. It's one you or I could never play.
That's what I wanted to
And all right, well, hold on a second.
You're calling me?
Oh.
We have to stop meeting like this.
Oh my God. I just butt dialed you.
Well, at least I'm here.
Yeah.
That's never happened before. I butt dialed somebody sitting right next to me. That's hysterical.
Hi guys,
Wow.
my name is Slava. I'm one of the participants today at the Full Wheat Bake Radio, telling
Wait a minute.
how it is.
Isn't today your birthday?
Today's my birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you
Slava.
guys. Thank you. So
You get an extra pickle. Yeah.
just one.
We don't have anything else green.
I'm 31. All right. Oh, good. But Jenny, you mentioned that before. That Chris Christie does not know what he's talking about, and so now he's the governor of the state, and he pretty much is the leader of the legislature. Okay, so now he's spreading false information, lies to the rest of the politicians in in New Jersey, and that in itself is a big problem. Because we got a bunch of lawmakers now that are not educated on the policies that they're, or I shouldn't say all, but a lot, and they're just, a lot of it is politics and following the leader.
Stick around. We're going to be visiting a lot of these people. We're going to be visiting ex-Governor Cody because he voted no.
Wow.
How do you vote no on anything for these children? Really?
Yeah.
Or the vets? Really? So, yeah, Governor Cody, we're going to be smoking out his office soon.
Just like INE Tour educates police departments on the Kuma guidelines.
That too.
We should have a tour that educates our politicians on the medicinal benefits.
Oh, yeah, we're taking the tour there. We're going, man.
And
we're going to see Jay Weber.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Weber, the Kami Pinko, votes no to help our veterans with PTSD. Votes no. How do you vote no to help our veterans?
Politics, my friend.
You give them whatever they need. Because let's see Jay Weber with a gun protecting me. I don't want to see Jay Weber with a gun protecting me. He's a little wimp. He's a Kami Pinko, and I don't like the guy. He lied to my face. He lied right to my face at a town hall meeting.
I'm not surprised at all.
So yeah, I'm gonna smoke at his office too.
And you know what? All these people are gonna become flip-floppers, and they're gonna look terrible because our generation is the generation that's gonna
They
vote.
look terrible now.
I'm 31 today, and I believe within the next 10 years, my generation is gonna
Hold on.
Sorry.
Jenny, you're putting salve on Jack's right now.
I am.
Is this cannabis salve?
What do you think it is?
What are you doing with this salve? What's in it?
It's actually a CBD, THC, and a massage salve that was given to me by someone in Colorado. And it's amazing. Jack's really rigid right now, and he's got some jitteries, some shakes. As you
I
can
see that. Yeah, he's shaking.
I put this on, and those will probably be gone very shortly.
Wow.
Wow, really?
Do you have pain right now?
Uh,
Besides pain in the butt?
Pain in my neck, pain in my back. Are you kidding me? I'm in
Try
pain every
some.
day.
I have
Tell
a
me.
horrible pain running down my neck right now.
How long will it take for it to work?
For less than 5 minutes.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
It'll take you longer to drink a cup of coffee.
Now I've been reading on this about this online through the other coalitions throughout other states.
You mean about the real world in every other state in the United States?
Yeah.
Give it a try.
Thanks. Wow. Thank you so much.
It smells really good.
It really does.
It smells very natural and clean. It's not like loaded with fragrance or anything. It's like
It is specially made medicinal,
Yeah.
and they are going to have a CBD only version that's available for sale pretty much everywhere, but this one actually does have THC in it. Can you feel it yet?
Wow. This is really crazy.
I like it.
My pain is gone. This is crazy.
I like this a lot.
It's
What the
amazing.
hell?
Yeah, that's all it is.
Is this for real?
It's for real.
It's got like what else is in there besides
There's a cocoa butter, a shea butter, and a couple other.
I can.
yeah.
But
okay.
you notice it's not greasy.
This is great stuff. What's the name of this stuff?
It doesn't have a name. It's just amazing cannabis.
It's my next door
salve.
neighbor, man. What do you want from me?
No. And okay, so this is how it happened. I actually went to a meeting at the Realm of Caring because they have monthly meetings, and they're the CBD only. Some people absolutely hate them. I'm neutral. I love them, and I get frustrated at the same time.
Yeah.
So they had a support meeting, and they had these people come with this salve, and Jack was much worse than you see him right now. I mean, he was like this.
Oh boy.
And I was like, yeah, whatever, the salve works. And I was like, what the hell? And I put a little bit on one arm, and he literally was like this with the other arm
Oh,
the
come
whole
on.
entire time.
Really?
And I'm like, holy crap, my son's
Wow.
not moving. He doesn't look like he has Parkinson's. And I put it on the other arm, and he just stopped jerking and shaking. I put it on him twice a day.
Put it everywhere now. This is insane.
So yes, cannabis is amazing medicine. It does take away the pain at that local site. And when you use the cannabis as medicine in a medicinal way, there's nothing to be feared, and that's it. Look, his hands are so much better.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not shaking so much.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Hi.
Wow.
So yeah, it's absolutely amazing. The creams, the medicine that they have in Colorado, which is based in cannabis, is amazing.
Are you really going to go check 1, 2 right now? Are you really going to start 1, 2? Check. Really? Okay. Okay, I'm putting you back on. I'm turning you back on, but do not say check 1, 2. I'll kill you.
Arthritis cure right here.
Treatment, absolutely.
Treatment.
Yeah.
Treatment.
Treatment,
Absolutely.
You have a bad back too. You have arthritis or
He
something.
just put it on and he's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I had a not a terrible pain,
Did
but
you
I
need to
did have a
bathe
pain
more?
running down my neck and then to my trap. And it feels much better for sure.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's amazing, and you'll probably
pretty
get
cool.
hours of relief from this,
Wow.
from that little itty bitty bit.
Wow.
And you
The
did,
bit that I put on my back does make my back feel a lot
yeah.
better. My back. I get back pain too a lot, and I just put a little bit on my back, and I can hear it, and it feels a lot better already.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, I use this twice a day on Jack, and there's occasions where I use it on myself too because my feet hurt from having to move. You know, walking up and down the stairs, carrying and moving all this stuff. It's like, ugh. So, you know, last night my feet hurt. I put it on my feet, and within 5 minutes or less, I was like, okay, relief. So yeah,
It's amazing.
it is.
I can see why it's illegal. I can see why the pharmaceutical companies are afraid of this.
Yes.
And I'm sure this costs a lot less than, let's see, how much is Gleevec? If you're, Novartis has a drug called Gleevec for cancer. It costs $75,000 a year to be on this drug. Does that cost, is this anything near that?
About $60
$60 for that.
for this.
So, yeah, it's a little
But
less.
this can last you a long time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Months.
Yeah.
For some people.
Twice a day, every joint. It's not quite months, but you know, maybe a month for him. So
If you grew this yourself, how much would it cost to make this?
$10 maybe.
$10.
and it would probably be a gallon, and it wouldn't be this.
$10 to save your lives, folks. Wow. Mm-hmm. So, actually, where's Barini? Barini, we need your phone because we're going to give out the number for the magical butter machine. We're giving away a magical butter machine. You guys-
Love Garen.
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah, Garen's amazing.
Man, that guy. He steered us on the right path because we kind of go off path sometimes, me and Wayne. We kind of go a little...
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you guys always had your shit together.
Well, we kind of do the shock jock thing, and this is kind of pushing us back towards, you know, what we should be doing. So I like this. I like this a lot. So, Wayne, we need your phone, so we're going to give out the number
Wayne's ignoring
for
you.
the magical butter machine.
Yo, Wayne!
Hey, Wayne Barini. Oh, he's talking to Jim Miller. Jim Miller doesn't shut up either. Hey,
He gave us the finger.
he did?
Yeah, he did this.
Oh, the 1 minute finger or the FU finger?
No, the 1
The
minute.
1 minute finger.
Yeah,
That's like the
it's
wa-
the weight.
The weight. And then
finger.
if we keep bugging him, we're going to get this finger.
I'm sure. And if it keeps going, then we'll get both.
Oh,
That's okay. I
man.
just won't share my salve.
Wayne, we have to give away a butter machine. Get over here, buddy. I forgot the box, idiot I am. I had the beautiful butter machine box I was going to put here, and
Hey, did you see my necklace?
I love that. That's a real pot leaf, too, isn't it?
That is impression of a real pot leaf.
That is so cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It bends, too, right? If you have to be careful, right?
Yeah, it's very, very fragile. Oh, thank you, Jack.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Well, I guess I will give out my phone number since Wayne is too busy.
Actually, I think Jim's too busy. Wayne's just caught in the web.
Yeah, poor Wayne. Well, give me the phone number. I don't have your phone number. So to put your name in the hat for the magical butter machine, you have to answer one question, and you got to call the show. And I'm sure there's a few people listening just to call in for this magical butter machine. So let's help them out. Let's give them a chance to win because people need this machine. There's people on disability. There's people on Social Security that can't afford these machines, and they're so happy to get this machine.
And the machines are amazing. They making the cannabis oil, the tinctures, the salves, makes it so easy to do, and you don't have to think about it. You can do it as a beginner. You don't have to have all these mad skills to be able to make stuff.
Makes life easier for the parents, which is, I'm all for that. Make these parents' lives easier, not harder.
Yes.
Please.
Amen to that.
So what's the number there? Hey, what's up? Hey, Wayne Barini, how are you, buddy?
Fantastic.
Good to see you. How you
Good to
feeling?
see- Oh, great.
How's your ear pus
Huh?
thing going on here?
Oh, it's
Okay,
still,
that's so attractive.
it's still leaking.
Oh, gee. I'm sorry I mentioned it. No, you're sick. You were sick for like a week, man.
Still, I can't get rid of this crap.
Oh,
It's
man.
unbelievable.
Sorry to hear that. buddy.
Unbelievable. 862-222-3332. Yeah, that's the number. I don't know how we're going to work this out over here.
Just
but
give me your
What's
phone.
the question?
Oh, the question. I can ask you the question if you'd like. It's a very simple question. What's the meaning of life?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Some people are giving very simple answers, and some people are, we got two contestants so far. One says to procreate, So you know what's on his mind.
Yes.
And the other one, what was the other one? She wants to
To help others.
help others, which I like a lot. That's good.
To help others.
I like that a lot.
Oh, see, that's not a meaning of life. That's just everyday life. You help others.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I can tell you in this cannabis journey that I've had in the last 3 years that my eyes have been opened up to the healing powers of cannabis. I've helped so many people, and at the same time, formed so many friendships with so many people that I probably would have never ever met before. And the opportunities to help people just absolutely comes naturally. I mean, people have been so afraid of this; they don't know anything about cannabis or anything else, and you just start sharing it, and it just helps itself. I mean, cannabis is such an easy way to help others and heal at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
This machine is amazing.
Yes.
It's
Not only that, you make.
are you
the
talking
best
off?
of
Are you
friends.
talking off
course.
mic?
Well, we'll forget
Hello.
Richie's birthday.
All right, it's your birthday. I'm going to give you a break, but do not talk off mic,
Madonna me.
or I'm going to lose my sexy
Well,
voice
you
and start
make
yelling.
the best of friends.
Okay, hold on. Now we're gonna yell at you.
I'm going to start
Because
now,
I just
now,
told you.
now you're being.
And now you're friggin' talking
you're
off
being
mic.
stupid.
Pick up the mic
What are
right
you
next
doing?
to you.
Birthday boy, what are you doing?
Holy.
Sorry.
God.
You make the best of friends. You have the best of time. It's a great medicine, and it's just a positive vibe altogether. Anything behind it, you know, the movement and whatever you name it.
So, Jenny, let me ask you a question. Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Why? Who cares?
That's part of the question.
Yeah, I know you come up with these like questions like what. That's always and then your next question.
Because I'm waiting to get an atheist to bust their chops.
Why?
I know one, but he's not here.
I always tell the atheists they're going to convert at the last nanosecond. They're going to convert. So always in their mind when they go, they're going to always have that in their head.
Okay.
So yeah, so you believe in God, and I agree with you though. We have to help others, and one of the reasons why I do what I do is because of you and Jax. You and Jax inspired me to do what I do. I mean,
Thank
really,
you.
you guys pushed me. Jax is always on my mind, all the kids, but especially Jax. For some reason, I just see him in that hospital bed, friggin' suffering, and I'm like, he doesn't belong in a hospital bed. He belongs out in the field playing ball, doing something normal that kids do, and he's in a friggin' hospital all the time. It's like,
Since being in Colorado, he's been in the hospital how many times?
Oh Jesus,
boy.
too many.
No, since being in
oh,
Colorado.
since Colorado.
Oh, since?
Since moving to Colorado.
Tell us.
0?
It's been almost a year, right?
Don't tell me 0.
9 months.
9 months.
And for an emergency, for a seizure, he's been in the hospital 0 times.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Go Jaxie.
He's been in the hospital twice, but it was for more of a side effect, more observation, more, I really don't know what I'm doing, but we're just going to sit here and prescribe you more drugs because we don't know. And I ended up checking us out both times because they just don't know, and they don't know how to help him. And it was the dystonia and the rigidity that he's experiencing, which is a permanent side effect of the 13 years of being on Klonopin.
Wow.
And he is now getting a secondary diagnosis of juvenile Parkinsonism, which is very significant and very rare, because it's more rare than Dravet, because we needed it to be more rare. What is it? Juvenile Parkinsonism is a form of Parkinson's, just like you see in adults, but it's in someone under the age of 18. And it does not respond to the traditional drugs that it helps the older people that have the Parkinson's, because it was drug-induced. It's a drug-induced form of Parkinson's, and that's why has more difficulty walking. That's why he's having all these tremors and this rigidity where his whole body is stiffening up, because all those drugs for all those years damaged his nerves and his body.
Unbelievable.
But when we were here in
Unbelievable, yeah.
Jersey, he had, I want to say in just the last year, I believe he had 26 hospital admissions related to seizures and the drugs that he was having to take for his seizures. He's off those drugs now, and he's not having any hospitalizations. He's had no emergency meds that were given to him of a pharmaceutical nature, and it's probably been a year now, because I stopped giving him when we still lived here in the state of New Jersey.
That's great.
So
That's great.
Before Colorado, before you started cannabis, how many times was he going to the hospital a year before cannabis?
Before cannabis, probably he was seeing the neurologist once a month because it was that severe. we see the doctor every 3 months now, every 3 to 6 months. And he probably had around 40 to 50 hospitalizations.
Wow.
All related to seizures or crisis of some sort. A seizure wouldn't stop. And the reason why the seizures wouldn't stop is because he was withdrawing from all those pharmaceuticals, all those drugs. Need some more salve?
Always.
I still feel no pain,
I know.
and I feel very good actually.
Mm-hmm.
I feel very
you high?
relaxed. I feel so relaxed now.
But you're not high, are you?
No,
you're
I'm
not
I'm-
unfunctional.
No, not at all. No.
And we need to
I feel regular.
we need to fix that disbelief or that misnomer that people think that, oh, you smoked a joint, you must be high.
Mhm.
You're not high just because you got a little bit of THC or
No.
CBD. You don't get high from all that.
No, absolutely
If
not.
you overdo it, yeah. And I'm sure there are some people that love that.
Well, if you
but-
overdo it, I think you're just gonna go to sleep.
Exactly. You're not going to go and drive a car into
No, you're not
or
gonna want
shoot
to do
up
anything. You just
shoot
want
up
to
a movie theater
relax. You just want to lay down
and heal.
and heal. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Regenerate.
When you sleep, you heal.
Yes.
So your parents usually make a two oils. You make I know Brian Wilson makes a CBD oil and a THC oil, and he mixes it together.
Yes.
Is that what you do?
No, I don't. I mix mine all together in one bottle and just have the normal solution, and then I have my separate THC only, and I don't have a CBD only that I use for him, and I just use that. And then I've got different varieties. I've got a 1-to-1, I've got a 16-to-1, I've got a 10-to-1, and I just use whatever I think he needs at the moment.
So you switch it up all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I do that too with mine.
And I even make gummies, and then I'll take the gummies, they're little teardrop looking things, and I just cut them up and put them in yogurt. He eats that. I have caramels that I make, soy-free caramels. Give him the caramel, and I'll cut that up and put it in his food wherever, and he'll just chew it and eat it and loves it.
Do you know exactly how many milligrams of what he's getting?
The caramels are 70 milligrams per caramel, and the gummies are 25 milligrams, and I made them myself.
And how do you know the levels? How do you know that?
When I make it, it's a big batch, so I'll probably get around 240 in a batch of the gummies, and I just send in 2 and they get tested.
Oh, okay, good.
So I know what my batch is.
Good.
And the caramels as well.
And how long does the testing take?
Oh gosh, a day. If it's during the week, if it's a weekend, maybe 3 or 4 days.
That's a medical program, folks.
Yeah.
That's how a medical
Yeah.
program works.
Yeah.
Wow.
Question.
Answer.
In comparison to New Jersey, I know it's a silly question, but how much more supportive is the medical marijuana community in Colorado compared to us here?
Well, I think the medical marijuana community here in New Jersey is very supportive, because CMMJ and the other folks that are hanging around. So I think that our communities are very supportive. I just think that the community out in Colorado is just a lot bigger.
Okay.
And they could be more open. So I think people who are afraid to support CMMJ here in New Jersey, if we had a decent working program,
Right.
would be more willing to come out if it was more widely accepted and understood.
And be hands-on, right? I
Right.
understand.
And it was funny because I actually had a friend come visit me in Colorado just last week. And she's like, this is Colorado, where are all the pot shops? And I'm just laughing because Governor Christie's like, there's a pot shop on every corner. Yet here's my friend coming from out of state, and she's like, where are all the pot shops? I can't see them. I don't know where they're at. You know, and I had to point out to her where they are because they are discreet.
Because it's a fairly new industry, and you have to acknowledge that fact. And
Right.
you know, and I think there'll be a lot more, and the business will expand. There'll be more revenue again, more taxes for them to collect, et cetera, which is not really that important. But
Well, and we need to
it's
have
just
more forms in this state.
Reforms.
No, more forms of cannabis. So, like,
okay.
for example, he can't smoke it. There's no way I'm going to give him a bud
Right.
and he's going to know what to do with it.
Right.
So we need to have that ability. I took him to a party in June, and he was so rigid and so stiff and having such a difficult time. Hold on, pausing for Barney.
Sure. Always.
And, you know, if I was here in New Jersey, I probably, at that point in the month, would have already bought my whopping 2 ounces. And no snickers or giggles. And so, you know, on this particular day, Jack was having a really bad time, but what I had wasn't working for him. It wasn't addressing the need. Talked to some of the other parents and was like, okay, I know what I need. I literally left the birthday party, drove like, 15 blocks to the other side of town, went to a dispensary, and I was like, I need Tora Bora. Because it's a high CBD, but it's also a high THC, but it's also an indica. And so I told them what I need. They happened to be out. She's like, oh, but we have it in bubble hash. So here I've got bubble hash. I don't have to go home. I don't have to make it into a butter. I don't have to do anything for him. I just got bubble hash. Asked her how to, turn that into whatever I needed. Boom, I've got it for him. And and that's in an acidic form. So again, it's not activated. It's not going to get anybody high unless they activate it.
Right.
But they also had patches. They had suckers. They had anything and everything you need. And when you're treating an acute emergency, you can't tell the EMT, I'm sorry, I only have bud. You've met your limit for this month and you can't buy it.
That's crazy, yeah.
So the fact that I was able to treat him on the spot without having to worry about it is crazy. His plant count in Colorado.
Besides that, I'm sure the psychological atmosphere in Colorado for pot users and medicinal pot users and
you have your haters. I mean, they're still
yeah,
there.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's fairly new. It's understandable, but still in comparison to here in New Jersey, I'm sure you're just so much more relaxed in that sense that you can get it.
Yes.
On the spot and whenever you need it, and you're not going out of your way and looking to be in trouble or something to obtain a medicinal product for your son, which is amazing, and I'm sure the lifestyle has probably improved just from that one fact alone. Your whole family feels a lot better.
Less stress.
Aren't you in trouble for bringing this over the Colorado border?
I probably am.
Oh boy, did I just
So you're going to jail with me.
did I just rat you out?
We're all going to jail.
I don't care.
I'll take
Been
it.
ratting a lot
I'll
of
do
people
it.
out.
I don't care.
It's mine. I want it anyway.
And technically, with me having
Lefty's taking
Jack's
a hit.
cannabis from Colorado here, I'm already breaking the law. But you know what?
Yes.
I can't stop medicating my son just because he left a state, because we crossed an imaginary border. And by the way, Kansas is just the longest state ever.
I feel my neck feels so good.
420 miles.
Of corn? Is it corn over
No,
there?
it's just it's just flat.
Flat.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And once you get towards the Missouri side, it's a little more hilly with trees, but
Right.
it just goes on and on.
Very beautiful and it's healing in itself, that state, the nature and the vibrations you get from the nature is just so awesome. Do you go earthing?
No, I don't do anything.
In
I
Colorado?
I take care of Jack.
I know.
Her whole life is Jack. Believe me, there's no time for anything. Do you have
I-
anything social you do? Anything that you could
You know what?
sneak out?
Within the community, we do a lot of stuff together. There's, our kids have birthdays. Our kids have all left their families in their respective states, and
Yeah.
so we get
Right.
together for these things and celebrate together as a new family.
That's
And-
really cool.
That's awesome.
That's
And
really
like,
cool.
I like that.
Riley just had a birthday party, so we went bowling, and a lot of the people within the community were there. When I moved, because I literally had to, on the 31st, my lease was up in a 2-story house, and Jack's with his needs, I needed a 1-story house, so we moved. I put out on Facebook, and you guys have probably seen the call out that, look, I'm moving and I need help. I had over 20 people, of which there was a doctor, there was an oil maker, there was a grower there. These are people I had never, ever, ever met prior to this. And all of a sudden they showed up and they're there helping me.
Wow.
So it's a lot different. It's
That's so
totally
amazing.
different. Thank
Yeah.
you, Jack.
It's like you got so many more shoulders to lean on now, it seems like.
And they understand. It's not false friends. It's not people that like, oh, I get what you're going through.
Yeah.
And the second something happens, they're like, boom, gone. I'm sorry, that's too much. And that's what I'm used to. Even here in New Jersey, as much as I love everybody here, these people know, they get it, they've seen it.
Right.
They know what it's like to have a seizure, or to be walking to the grocery store needing milk and your kid has a seizure and there's nothing you can do. It's our everyday worlds,
Yeah.
and we get it, each other.
It's a thought that's always there, in other words.
Expect the unexpected.
Yes.
And this is not Big Brother.
No.
So did this help you back the second application?
I think it did.
Amazing, isn't it? Because you've been suffering for
crazy.
how many years?
13.
All of a sudden you just stop and squat, and we're like, are you okay? You're like, it's okay, I do this all the time.
I stopped and squat.
You did, you stopped and you squat. You squatted. You do that. I'm used to that now. Where's Lefty? Oh, he's squatting.
Down goes Lefty.
As long as he can get back up.
Oh boy, yeah, this is good stuff. You have to market this somehow.
Yes.
The lady who's making it is marketing it. I'll work on it.
I want some.
It has to go mainstream.
I need that in my
commercial.
life.
Yeah. It needs to be a privatized a business on a big scale. Like a
and-
lot of moms and grandmothers coming together
Right.
and making it in like tub loads.
and she is
for
working on that. She
the
is
supply.
in Colorado. You can do that. You can buy
you
it
know,
and make an
yeah.
industry.
American made,
Yeah.
you know, American industry, for us, by us, like Fubu, you know? Remember that brand Fubu?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For us, by us, you know?
Finally, a good American product. Cannabis.
Yeah, really.
Best in the world.
Whoa. It actually probably is. We have some of the best
course it
strains
is.
grown here. Well,
course.
Amsterdam got really awesome growers too, but you know, we got legit guys out here doing them big things.
We do everything better in America, Slav.
Everything's better with the U.S. stamp on it.
Pretty much.
U.S. seal of approval.
Damn straight.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have to be fumigated before it comes into the country.
Absolutely.
That's always the downside.
Absolutely.
Can I take a break for a moment and get something for Jack to eat?
Yeah, actually, we are going to take a break.
We're
We have attorney Frank Taney coming on in a few minutes. He's going to give us some feedback. And yeah, how is what is Jackson eating today? What is he?
I was actually going to do fresh raspberries with yogurt and a little cannabis.
Can I recommend something? I was gonna ask you
course you
about his
can.
diet because I've been learning. I've been a really heavy set kid.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 12 years old, I weighed 220 pounds, and all my life, like I tried to lose weight, and I never had a lot of money, so I did it on my own, and I just had to trial and error for years, and I finally did it. And but amino acids.
Mhm.
Do you ever give them that?
Mhm.
Wow. I was theorizing about, you know, for kids like
Mhm.
him, you know, to give him like you know, like amino creatine, glutamine. So how often a day? Because it tastes great. I freaking love it. I think it tastes better than food and convenient.
It's usually once a day,
I love it.
but
Yeah.
there's times where he may need it more. There's times where he's not eating, so it becomes a little more challenging to get it into him.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different ways. There's a ways of targeting the food. So when you're doing the food, there are some amino acids you can't get in food. But when it is available through a food source, you just target that food with it, and you can naturally supplement with foods. And so I do a lot of that with him.
How about supplementing with extracts? Amino like powders.
There's-
Like you mix with water and you
Yep.
know.
There's a couple of them I use, and they
I mean-
typically work, and then they stop working for a while. So you got to mix them up, and that's typical with most of the special needs kids. Is things don't work forever.
Well, I mean, amino acid intake it should be a part of your daily diet,
Absolutely.
just like protein. I mean, it's a protein, essentially. So I mean, you know, if he's eating beef or he's drinking amino acids, you know, it's relatively the same. You know.
If you saw how much he ate and how skinny he is, you would be absolutely amazed. He eats 4,000 calories a day.
No
Believe
way.
me. Yes.
4,000.
4,000 calories a day.
Wow.
He eats a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he gets a lot, and so because he does have such a large volume of intake,
Right.
I am able to supplement him with that. And when I do give
Is
him a
it- is
GT
it-
feed,
Right. Is it Whole Foods or what kind?
yeah,
I mean,
it is. It's
all,
Whole Foods.
all like
Yes.
you know like
Jack can't have soy. He can't have any
okay, no
processed
soy.
food,
Okay.
and everything has
No processed foods.
no processed food. So
he wouldn't
anything
be able
with
to drink protein powder then.
no, because it's got soy in it.
Okay, but I mean, you have your.
There's certain ones
now
you
you
can.
have your beef protein powder, milk protein powder, ham protein powder, soy protein powder.
Almost
I'm
everything.
Just curious because
Most of those products have natural flavorings in them,
Yes,
or they
you're
have soy,
absolutely right. Yes.
and he avoids all of that. So
Okay.
he gets most of his through just
but then there
foods.
are brands they're
There's a few.
Yeah.
There's a few. And
they're expensive.
they
very
are expensive,
It's so expensive.
and it's so much easier to do it
for a
through
month-
natural food.
For a month's supply, it would cost him at least $180.
Mm-hmm.
Like amino acids, like good protein, and like some creatine. You know.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. No, we get all that in there.
That's
Lots of it. Lots of whole foods. He eats healthier than me.
And Medicaid or insurance would not pay for that because it's a diet.
No, they're not.
It's your diet.
Yep.
And I mean that's out of hand, you know, because that's just your supplements.
Yep.
Then you have your whole foods, you know.
Yep.
and
Definitely.
for him to live you know, like a really top, like, you know, quality lifestyle.
He eats healthier than probably
so
everybody
much
here.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I'm gonna go grab him something to eat.
Yes, thank you, Jenny. Jenny Storms.
Thanks for having me.
Please don't leave yet. We want you around, but How long are you in Jersey for, by the way?
I leave on Saturday. We're having a huge yard sale at my house tomorrow and Saturday, and then after Saturday, I'm taking off. My house is empty, vacant, giving it back to the bank.
You got anything good to sell?
Lots of good stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you got for me?
I don't know. What do you like?
Got a smoker?
Oh, please.
There's a barbecue out there.
You got a barbecue?
He likes rubber toys. Watch out with him.
You selling those?
I'm sure we have some of Jack's toys out there, but not the right kind of rubber.
Oh, boy.
So, tons of stuff.
Electronics?
I don't know if there's electronics. There's tools, there's stuff, there's crap, there's furniture. But the thing you need to realize is when you have to leave the state, you can't take it with you. There's only so much you can take, and his medical supplies took up the truck.
Because moving will cost you probably the same amount of money with the stuff that you're taking.
Well,
Worth it so far.
I just don't have $10,000 to move
Yeah,
my
it's
entire
ridiculous.
house.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
I
that's how
can't.
much. That's cheap. 10,000.
10,000
that
is
is
on the cheap
Colorado.
end.
That's really cheap.
So,
Yeah.
What kind of stuff did Jax have to move that you took?
well, I had to take, because I didn't have any medical services set up for him when we got to Colorado, I had to bring at least 2 months worth of diapers and meds and suction machines and his bed. He's got a hospital bed, and just all of his supplies. I've got one room in the Colorado house. It's nothing but his medical supplies. The different parts of the suction machine, the different parts of the oxygen converter, the oxygen tanks. It filled up more than half the truck with just his medical supplies. So we didn't bring our couch. We didn't bring, a lot of stuff. We just couldn't. It's hard to move, and it's costly to move. So a lot of stuff like my pots and pans, I bought them at a thrift store out there, and that's what we're using now. So I don't need the ones that are here. So they're here. They're going in the yard sale. So that's what happens.
Governor Christie, I hope you hear this podcast someday and listen to what people have to go through. Real life people, real life problems. Come on, man. Really? This is just...
But yep, this is probably our last trip to deal with the house, and it'll be over, and
It's so
walking
sad.
away.
I'm sure it's very emotional for you.
It is, but every time I come back, it gets a little bit better. Every time I come back, it gets a little bit easier to say goodbye. I love New Jersey.
I just hope soon you'll be able to maybe even come back if we get
We're trying. We're trying to fix
so
it.
we're doing our best.
You know
And
what?
I think
It's taken me 9 months now, plus I know it's going to take another 3+ months to get his services reestablished. I can't afford to lose another year of his life. I can't come back. I've lost a year of his life. He has no services. I'm trying, but I can't do it to him again.
sorry.
And so we can't come back here. Because if I do, I lose his services again for another year, and he'll regress on me again. And it's not fair to Jack. And I won't do that to him again. He's safe where he's at now.
Yeah. He's in a safe net.
Wow. Sad story.
So we just get to come visit. I may need a couch to sleep on, but we'll just come visit.
Anytime.
Have you been to the joint?
Not yet.
Is
Really?
today going to be your first day there?
Yes.
Oh. Should be fun.
Yep.
Jack's medicating at the joint. That
Yep.
should be nice. I'm sure he'll be excited. Jax, you want to medicate with the weed man?
Jack's ready for the joint. That's
In
the
a
party
sanctuary.
spot.
We were just talking about Jax a couple days ago.
His ears were burning.
They were. I know they were. Because we were talking about we're going to smoke him up. We're going to show him how.
Got to teach him someday, right?
I know, bud.
Oh,
I
boy.
know. I know.
He wants to smoke so bad.
Woo!
We're going to teach you.
I think Lefty's already tried. He just stuck the lighter in the bong.
And that's not good enough.
That's a start.
I
Baby
told him that's
steps.
not good enough, man. That's like,
Oh.
It's okay, buddy.
gotta have the joint lit for him. It might get ugly. We might have to hold his nose for like 2 seconds. And that way, but we'll get him though.
You know he does bite. Okay, so we will hand over this mic to...
Yes. Let's take a break, and I'm going to go medicate too. So we'll take a little break, and
Little
we'll
break.
be back on the
Wow.
Tell It Like It Is podcast
August 6th,
by Sativa Cross.
2015.
And we'll give you the number for the Magical Butter Machine. You can call in and win the Magical Butter Machine.
862 888-222-3332. All you got to do is call up and give us the meaning of life. And trust me, the answers we have so far, anyone could win. So far, we got procreation and helping people. It's pretty lame.
Wait, what was your answer, Jenny?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
Oh, being illegally healed rather than legally dead.
Oh, wait, did you just say be illegally healed instead of legally dead?
Yes.
Whoa. Yes.
Best answer yet.
See you in a few minutes on sativacross.com. Sativa Cross wants to welcome Dan Brady, guitar player extraordinaire, to the show. Coming up, you can win your magical butter machine. And also, attorney Frank Taney in the house. Coming up after the break.
I gotta read it. I gotta do all these things down. This is normally where Lefty and some patients who have been putting up with the fact that when you smoke your medicine, it does wear off in a certain amount of time. You have to go back and do it. So Last week, during the break, we sat Dan Brady down with his guitar, did a little finger picking. I just said whatever came to my mind. But I want to say, we're going to try that again, because I always have something to say, and he always has something to play. So, the thing is, apparently I must think I'm a boring voice or something, because I noticed when I looked at last week's version of what we will be doing maybe once a week now, my voice seemed to fade to being Mitch Hedberg, my favorite comedian of all time, the late great Mitch Hedberg. And sometimes a little bit like George Thorogood, the way he would talk, like that. He would staccato at the end of a sentence, and that fitted. And if I have a run-on sentence, it tends to sound a little bit like Arlo Guthrie. But what we're doing is its own little Alice's Restaurant. So if you hear my voice fading in and out, I don't do it on purpose. It goes with whatever it goes. And I wanted to credit those who influenced me to be able to even do this. So I would like to start by saying, I have an intro to you. I want to say, I want to begin like Mitch Hedberg, I like to begin sometimes. And I want to fess up.
Tell it like it is.
I'm going to tell it like it is. Give me a second. I want to fess up here. I used to smoke pot. No, I still do, but I used to too. And I would love when he would do that. He was just so genuine. So anyway, Dan, play whatever comes to mind, and I'm going to talk about traffic cones in New Jersey. Take it away, Dan.
What's the subject?
Take it away. That means go. That's the hand sign for go. Are you sitting close enough? Go ahead. Play. Let me see if I can hear you.
You nod your head, I'll hit it.
Go ahead. That's good. I can hear that. That's good, and it's not an angry sound. That's kind of something I need to feel, because this gets me a little bit angry, having to come at her each week and talk about medical marijuana, and because we're never invited to anybody's table, not our legislative friends, not our opponents, sitting right inside the State House now. Now, last year, we started bringing traffic cones. Somebody pointed out that the governor has a history with traffic cones. The nutshell version is 2 out of 3 lanes entering onto the George Washington Bridge from Fort Lee. Their own little entrance were blocked off with traffic cones. It caused a massive traffic jam. Turns out they were not ordered. It was not part of a traffic study. It was somebody in the governor's staff decided they would please him, and they knew that he might like something like this. Now, I'm going to say, maybe he didn't know. Maybe it was somebody just trying to help him. But it gridlocked traffic in the city. Ambulances couldn't operate, and it could have been an emergency, all because the mayor of Fort Lee did not endorse him in his run for a second term of governor. He's a Democrat. He didn't have to endorse him. And that was a payback, it turns out. Now, we all know that. So last year, somebody said, why don't you bring traffic cones yourself? What would happen? So we got 4 12-inch traffic cones. They look good, but they look kind of small, and they look way too few. And somebody said, I'll buy you 4 larger traffic cones. I said, well, it'd be like 8. It'd be twice as much, and like 150% if you stacked them up. So we did that. And then the 4 big ones look like they deserve more respect, have the same number as the 12-inch ones. So somebody donated 8 traffic cones, so now we have 16. And what we would do, you may not see in the background shot now, we would take the traffic cones and put one every 3 feet, coming out from a third of the way in on one side and a third of the way in from the steps on the other side, and we would wind them out this way, and we'd wind the other ones out the other way, so that there appeared to be 1 lane of foot traffic available to go into the State House. And it wasn't long before we saw one day security detail on the front steps. That can only mean one thing. The governor's going to arrive. Sure enough, black SUV pulls up, out steps the governor, and he sees traffic cones. He's got to wonder if he's ever going to get away from traffic cones. Now, he's a pretty good sport. He smiled, said hello, waved at the New Jersey weed man, said something polite, while he walked through traffic cones right into his through 1 lane of foot traffic, because we made a sign that said foot traffic study we think. Because that's what they said about the traffic cones on the George Washington Bridge, that it might have been a traffic study. And it turns out it was not. And actually, it was not really a foot traffic study here. So the governor had to walk, and he did. The walk of shame, but he didn't look it. And then when we got to 50 cones, we stopped because it was a full-time job. The end of last year, he put me in touch with the head of the medical marijuana program, and I thought I wanted to give him something in return. So we abandoned the cones. That was at the end of last year. We haven't had them up this year. I'm the road crew for the podcast here. And I store everything, and I pack it up in my little tiny car and bring it here, and I bring it back and store it and do the same thing again each week. I can't fit the cones in the car. So if anybody wants to be a traffic cone setter upper in chief and has a car and would like to take the cones here and bring them back, I will show you how it's done. It takes me about 20 minutes with my system, and it looks pretty good too. And girls really like it, guys. They really do. They come by all the time and have to say, I'm sorry, I'm taken. So like, if for no other reason, come by and volunteer to put up the traffic cones, and you will meet women. Or if you're a girl, you'll meet a guy. I promise. It may only take 14 tries, because that's how many more weeks we got. You know, and as much as that's funny, we got to do things to laugh here. Because on a day like today, when a woman who basically started what we do here and had to move to Colorado because her son, his life depended on it. And she was a surprise guest earlier today and made me want to cry. So we joke. Because if you didn't, you go crazy. And going crazy is no reason to have medical marijuana. Even if it would help you, you would be failed many times for the same reason if that happened. There's so much to do and so little time to do it. Today, or was it yesterday, the governor answered a question by saying he supports medical marijuana. He has a bill on his desk that would make it so children could use their cannabis oil in school. Without that bill becoming law, there are children that can only go to school until lunch, and then they go home to get their medicine. And they stay home, getting half an education. So I'd like to think the governor would do the right thing, even if it's for the wrong reasons. He wants to be president, and like I mentioned, he's not doing such a good job of being governor, and he only governs 2.5% of the people in this country. Now he wants to be president and up the amount of people he gets to govern by 4,000%. I say that's a stretch. That's a pretty long stretch. And what he should do is, when he's done with the Republican debate tonight, he should show that he can also handle us. Lefty Grimes invited him to the podcast maybe 6-7 weeks ago when he walked by. And the governor didn't say no. He said, not now. Now, the tough-talking governor, I don't know what the hand sign means. Again, hand sign, I think I'm supposed to send off fireworks in 2 directions. I don't know. The governor needs to do something bold. He needs to separate himself from the rest of the pack. And with the pack that it is, I do not blame him for wanting to do that. I'd want to get away from the whole pack, but when you're part of them, you can't get away from yourself. So the best you can do is just separate him from them. If he can't handle talking to me for 5 minutes on a podcast outside his front door when he graces us with his presence, I think that alone disqualify him from being president. If he can't handle the Sativa Cross podcast, what's he doing in Cleveland today, talking to governors and senators and one businessman in particular whose name I won't mention because I do not give him free advertising unless somebody else wants to talk about him. If he thinks he can handle all that, he could warm up with us. We offer to be his punching bag. He can come out here and talk with us in half his way, because he tells it like it is. Now he has a telling it like it is presidential tour, and we have a telling it like it is podcast. We would complain to him that he stole that from us, except for it happens to be the other way around. We stole that from him. And I took it and I offered it in a contest to name this podcast. And the first prize was a joint. Now I'm an unqualified patient, and I knew that would be good for my foot. And yeah, I like it for fun too. I'm not going to say I don't. So ironically, I want to thank the governor for helping me win that joint. I haven't had it yet. I'm going to wait till my foot hurts. And then the governor will indeed be helping my pain one time, because he came up with the "Tell It Like It Is" slogan that we appropriated, and I want a joint because of him. And I know he won't take his half, so I will have it on his behalf. And I can't say who had the contest, because, you know, proprietary information. Daniel, thank you so much for sitting down and keeping the beat. Now, when Lefty comes on back, he's going to regain his seat, and I'm going to go over and talk with Jenny and Jax and Mr. Brian Cummings, my friend from Lavalette, who comes all the way from Lavalette with multiple sclerosis. It's not easy, and he plays a game called Chase the Shade, where every time the shade moves, he moves his chair. He's getting further and further away. It's not his fault. That's the fault of the rotation of the Earth around the sun at this moment. Well, it is. The sun's going to have him all the way down over there in a little while. We'll give him some shade under here when that happens. So, Mr. Cannabis King, a.k.a. Wayne Barini. Notice I a.k.a'd your real name and give you credit for your other name. You mix that up a little bit now and then. And I'm going to give my seat back to your host, Lefty Grimes. Okay, now we got to have an outro, Wayne. You got to wind that up how you do. We'll be back again. We're going to be the regular break crew.
The regular break crew.
Yeah, you got a break crew. We'll be like a road crew, and then we'll relieve you for break, and we'll help you pack up.
Yeehaw.
Okay, take us down. We're gonna make it right.
Tell it like it is.
Yeah, they can get us out of here. Just do the right thing. We'll go have some fun somewhere else. Daniel Brady. All right. Yeah.
DB.
You wanna come back next week? 'Cause then you hear him again. If he ain't too weak.
Every Thursday.
And we do this for the patients who can't make it. We'll give you a round of applause too for putting up with all the crap you have to. Welcome back,
Amen.
Lefty.
Amen to that.
I love that.
Did it come out through the speakers in front?
No,
It's louder there than it is here, right?
it's beautiful. It was beautiful,
Man.
Daniel.
That is cool. I love that. That's the best break. I'd rather play that than play any of this trap music that I'm
I
playing.
hear that, man.
That's cool.
Jim Miller,
Thank you.
Daniel Brady.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you both. Dan, you're pretty good. How long are you playing guitar for?
About 40 years.
Quality time matters more actually than age or time on the fiddle.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So about 40 years.
You know, there's been great swaths, I think they're calling them now,
Oh, hey.
yeah.
It's family radio. Family radio.
Family radio, man. Be careful. Yeah. No, there's been places where, you know, sometimes you put it down for a while.
Did you make that up yourself?
Thank you so much, Danny.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
Wow. Dan Brady, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, man, why
And Jim
does
Miller.
he got to stop? He could still play. Yeah, let's go now. Give him a little microphone and let him play while we talk.
You want to play?
Come
You
on.
want to keep playing, Dan?
He loves playing right now.
Keep playing?
Just sit down. Sit
Sit
down.
down here and you keep playing. Me and Wayne will just talk. There you go. There you go.
Do what you do best.
Do what you do. I like that. Who broke the headphones again?
It wasn't me.
Who broke the headphones, huh? Hey,
Schwarzes.
come on, guys. Really? You break the headphones? Come on, guys. We're professionals here. Trying to be.
Don't ever take the blame. No, it wasn't you. No, it wasn't you, Jim. It was nobody. The wind did it.
Welcome back to the Telling It Like It Is show.
Tell it like it is.
Tell it like it is.
So did you hear about Chris Christie's latest, his new phrase he's got? Wanting to punch teachers in the face.
He wants to punch teachers in the face. That's just great.
This guy's crazy.
After everything he's done, now he wants to punch him in the face.
It's like every time he comes up with something, we got to check it to make sure like it's real. You know, like, no, they didn't make this one up, did they? Hey, this guy's crazy.
Making lots of friends, that governor.
Telling it like it is. Making us New Jerseyans look like a-holes. Thank you, Gov.
That's the name of his tour, Tell It Like It Is. And that's the name of this show, Tell It Like It Is. One day he's going to walk past us and he's going to say, hey, this is my show. I better sit down with these guys.
I don't know. We might call it the rhythm method. What do you think?
The rhythm method? Oh, jeez.
See how the
Yeah, you're on.
You're on.
see how the rhetoric might change if he's no longer a presidential candidate. You know, because we've got the primary season and it's still going on.
It just started.
Well, you know, but that takes. He's won in a crowded field, and people get knocked out pretty early. You know, he's going to run as sort of a center-right guy, even though for politics of a lot of people around here, he's quite far to the right. But nationally, he'd be center-right, and I'm not sure that's going to carry him deep into the primary season.
When you got a guy like Donald Trump winning, you already got one loudmouth. You know, I mean, how many loudmouths can you have?
Not enough for me. I love it. I'm loving this primary.
It's good theater. It's good theater.
So we're here with Frank Taney.
Hello, folks.
He's my trademark attorney, by the way. He's been helping me with some stuff and helping some other people, like William Haney with his medical-freedom.com flags.
Yep, happy to represent cannabis-friendly businesses.
There you go. And get your medical-freedom.com flag right here. There you go. We're also giving away a magical butter machine today. If you call in the special number, you can get a chance to win a machine, a magical butter machine. What's the number, Wayne?
862-222-3332.
Be dialing, people. Be dialing.
I do think the political question is, does a serious legalization initiative get off the ground before Christie leaves? Yeah, I think it might very well. Again.
On a federal level?
No, on a state level.
State level.
You know.
Who knows? With the Democrats we have here in Jersey, they're like a bunch of wimps.
It's weird.
They're like afraid of this guy.
They're bought and sold by him. They gave him the last election. The Democrats gave him the last election.
They did.
They made a deal.
And, you know, it's like now when you have stuff that they should be, Democrats should be trying to pursue, it's like, well, no, we're afraid. What if he vetoes it? That's the answer for everything.
Well, with municipal prosecutors 3/4 in favor of legalization, that's an important impediment that's been removed. You look at where support for something like that comes from. There's a social and moralistic component, and then there's the business component. You know, lawmakers looking at, wow, look at the tax base we're letting go. And if they don't have to buck against the law and order element, you've got certainly increased chances of political traction there.
This is 110% true. And that's how I believe, as a conservative, I keep saying this, I believe it's how it's going to get passed. The Republicans, conservatives, if you will, they're going to finally acknowledge, look at all the money we're missing out on. We're just missing out on tons of money.
Well, Pennsylvania, we had the, I'm a New Jersey resident, but in Pennsylvania, they had the whole issue with casinos. You know, a somewhat analogous sort of arena in that you have a business that could make a lot of money and does and could be taxed and regulated, but on the other hand, people say there are social evils that come with it. And
blood money.
Yeah, so
blood money.
The Pennsylvania's experience with legalized gambling is still going on, and I certainly predict that'll happen with marijuana.
I think marijuana would help save Atlantic City. Imagine free weed down in Atlantic City. Legalize marijuana. Give people a reason to go to Atlantic City on the whole East Coast.
No, they're building a water park now out of the Revel.
Another one?
A water park.
Another water
Next
park?
to the ocean, they're going to build a water park.
Yeah, well, you need them slides and tunnels.
Well, you do have a block of states now. New Jersey, there is a medical marijuana. So is Delaware. New York, it's on the books, and they are building out the program. And Pennsylvania, there's a bill sitting on the governor's desk to legalize medical marijuana. So to the extent you have, it would start out with nonprofit businesses cultivating marijuana within those states. But you have the greater public at large exposed to it, exposed to people legally consuming the drug or the substance, whatever you want to call it. And I think socially that's important, to gaining momentum here.
Wow, the options are endless. I mean, if you really think about it, then if you want to look at marijuana as being an edible, like, geez, now you can get the. I'm trying to think of how the hell we get the government involved, like the FDA. Okay, yeah, well, if they make these medibles, well, we're gonna have to require labeling and testing, and somehow get their money.
Well, sure, it would be a food product, and we do have a way of regulating food products at the national level here, and they would then you'd see a whole new wing on the Library of Congress. I'm being facetious, but you would see a set of regulations promulgated in the Code of Federal Regulations on what blends and what intensity and the various attributes.
See, it's how can the government get money? That's how you got to look at this. It's the only way we're going to legalize this. They don't care if it's good for you. They don't care if it's bad for you.
No, they don't care.
You show them the money. Oh.
Well, somebody was asking me off microphone, using gay marriage as an example or an analogy, and there it's in one sense there are parallels, and in another important legal sense, you got a tougher sell, because there you have a screamingly clear, at least to me,
clear.
Equal.
It was clear, right?
Equal protection issue, right? So I mean that's why it's now a matter of constitutional protection, and so you're denying benefits to people based on some status, and so that's now become a protected status. Here you don't. That argument isn't as clear to make. It's a substance that's regulated. You're not in a protected or arguably protected class, and so the scrutiny from a constitutional standpoint that gets applied to a government regulation is there a rational interest to regulate it, which is a much harder hurdle to defeat for somebody trying to overturn that.
Well, for instance, the weed man has a card from California, and he's here in Jersey, but he can't use his medical marijuana card here in Jersey. So it's unfair. Why? It's something it's either a civil rights violation, or it's got to be some kind of violation of a patient's rights or something.
Oh, it's a matter of being reciprocal.
Yeah,
that's how the lawyer speak is, because a lot of A lot of states that have legal medicinal marijuana are reciprocal, meaning they'll accept other states' patients. Whereas just because one state does that doesn't mean they all have to do it.
That's
right.
crazy.
They would call that a interstate compact. You know, so same way. You know, I'm from the Philadelphia area. Delaware River Port Authority. You got Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey in there regulating bridges and tunnels and waterways. And
Okay, let me ask you a question. How does that work now? If I go to the Delaware Tunnel, say I go to the Ben Franklin Bridge,
yeah,
all right, they control that,
right.
and I smoke my medical marijuana on the bridge, can the Pennsylvania police arrest me and take me to their side and process me over there? Can they come over the border on the bridge?
Oh, boy.
Interesting question. So you're on the Jersey side of the Ben Franklin,
Smoking a joint,
and you got your card.
got my card, I'm legal.
I can't see how they could do that.
Well, I heard that both police can either can decide to prosecute you on that bridge. They both have the ability to process you on Pennsylvania or New Jersey side. That makes a big difference if you're a patient. For a regular person like you, it wouldn't matter. But for me as a patient, it
Yeah.
makes a big difference.
Right. Might be an area where, out of prosecutorial discretion, they might decline to do that. But I think you'd have some problems if you're physically transported, and the transportation. If the charge is that you consumed it in a place where, I mean, it matters what the charge is, right? That you consumed it in a place where it was illegal.
Right.
They see you on the downside of the bridge in Camden smoking it. They put you in a cruiser where you're no longer smoking, and then, now you're at 5th and Market, and the charge is you consumed cannabis in Pennsylvania. They don't have the elements because you didn't do it.
Okay, what if I'm on the border, right on the border, in the middle of the water, and my toe is over the line, but the joint is on New Jersey side? Is that illegal? Or does the joint have to be over the line in Pennsylvania for me? Like soccer rules or NFL rules? If NFL rules, your toes on the line, you're out of bounds. Soccer rules, the joint can still be in bounds, but you could be out of bounds. What do you think? Soccer rules or NFL rules?
These are the things they don't tell you in law school.
We're gonna pepper you today, Frank. Sorry.
But I would say probably soccer rules. Now that's a matter of first impression, and that's not legal advice.
It's a question we have to deal with as patients. Yes, Jenny.
Smoke on the Pennsylvania side or smoke on the New Jersey side? You have to contain your smoke.
I have to contain my smoke?
Yeah.
Jenny says to contain my smoke.
Yes.
I don't want to do that. I'm very obnoxious with my smoke. Sorry. As you can see.
On the Pennsylvania side, can you be arrested?
Yeah, I can be arrested on the Pennsylvania side. If my toe is over the border.
Depends
or,
where.
Or if the joint's over the border. I'm not sure what yet.
Pennsylvania, it's a big $25 fee.
In Philly, yeah.
Well, that's another thing. If you're in Philadelphia and the quantity's small enough.
See, how does that make sense? So if you're in Philly, so if I'm out,
It's a tax. It's a disguised tax.
Yeah.
Well, there's a judgment here now, right? There's a judgment that instead of ruining some kid's life with a charge, a felony or a misdemeanor, we're gonna say, okay, pay the toll, and be on your way. And so that's a legislative judgment that's been made by City Council in Philadelphia, and what that means is, and it's a popular initiative. It's nobody's complaining about it. So you might very well see other large cities assessing the money they spend or throw into the sinkhole, prosecuting and incarcerating people for these offenses.
What a waste of money.
Well, it definitely. I think as an argument, it's going to be harder to win the overall, should we have a war on drugs argument. I don't think America's quite ready for that. In a broad brush manner, but I think marijuana has the best chance of being the first one let in.
I got to figure out, I think we have to figure out how we get it off the scheduled narcotics list. the federal schedule?
That's a pure, to me, that's a pure political issue, and political is money. You know, if there's demonstrated money to be made and enough of it, and enough political will behind it, and not enough countervailing will, that's how it happens. Gay marriage is a good example there. I mean, it starts to become, if corporate sponsors say, hey, you know what, we're gonna leave your state now because you have these idiotic, or you have rules against it, and we have employees that are affected by it. So we're not, you know, you're going to lose that tax base. People get religion, quote unquote.
Now, if we could only find those companies.
Okay. Okay, we have a caller in for the Magical Butter Machine. Caller, can you hear us? You're on the air. Caller, you're on the air. Can you hear us? Yes, who is this? Who? Anthony. And you want to win the Magical Butter Machine?
Yep, yes, sir.
Are you a patient?
What'd you say?
Are you a medical marijuana patient? I can't really hear you. Your phone is horrible. Sir, can you call back on a can you call back or maybe move to another area? I can't hear you too well.
You got a landline?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't hear you. You gotta call back, bro. No, it's even worse now. You go. It's no, the wrong way. Other way. Where are you? What are you in the basement growing your weed? What are you growing weed in the basement down there? What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, if you grew your weed in the attic, what? Dude, call back.
Yeah,
I
call
can't
back.
hear you. Call back.
Anthony, call back.
Whatever your name is. Call back.
I think it was Anthony.
That's a shame. I'm sure he's a suffering patient and he has to wait now. He has to wait. He still has to wait because we're picking numbers out of a hat. We're picking names out of a hat. So,
Well, plus, if you call in, try using a landline.
And speak English.
And try not to be watching or listening to the radio show.
Maybe that was the problem, too. Oh, boy. So, yeah, this is mostly for kids. I really want to give this machine to a kid. I really do. So
Why? Why?
This is why.
Don't
Because
think of it just the kids, man.
No, the children are
I know
the future.
The children.
They're a future.
Yeah, but so are the 40-year-old women
I
that
understand.
have cancer.
I get it. Listen to this. This is what I'm going to do. We're going to have a hat, and we're going to put names in the hat at the end of the month. Mark's name, Jacqueline's name. The kids, when they call in, the kids get two. The kids get two names in that hat. There you go. The kids get two names.
Wow, dude,
Thank you.
that's like...
I don't care. It's
That's
my contest.
That's like liberalism at its
There
finest.
you go.
That's terrible.
There you go. Kids get two. Here's our caller.
All right, let's see if we can do this one again.
He doesn't sound too young to me, though. He sounds
All right,
a little.
go ahead, try
you
that
sound
now.
a little long in the tooth, sir. Hello, you're on the air.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, turn your radio down.
Is this dude kidding me?
Turn your computer down, Anthony.
Hello, can you hear me now, Anthony?
Anthony, turn the computer down.
Who's he talking to?
Who? What are you? You don't hang up on us. We hang up on you. Call him back.
No, I don't even want to
Call him back. I'm hanging up on him. That's it.
Don't worry.
No magical butter machine for you.
I have a feeling he's going to call back.
How dare you hang up on us?
I think he was out there.
Your name gets out of the hat. We're Anthony. There will be no Anthonys in this contest.
Hold on. How do you know that was Anthony?
That's what he said.
Well, that was the guy before.
Don't start with me. I'm telling you, I'm nuclear today.
Nuclear?
I'm nuclear.
Nuclear?
I'm nuclear. No, I'm sitting here, and we're taking this contest seriously. Oh, here we go.
Okay, go ahead. Hit the answer. See where it says answer? The green.
Okay, you're on the air with the Sativa Cross podcast. Who is this? Hello. Yellow.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Who is this, sir?
This is Anthony.
This is Anthony. Okay, Anthony, I can hear you now. Okay, where are you calling from?
Okay. I'm calling from Willingboro, New Jersey.
And you're a medical marijuana patient?
Yeah, I'm a medical marijuana patient. patient.
You mind if I ask what your condition is?
I have muscle spasms.
Oh boy.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I have those too. That's
Me
nasty.
three.
That's nasty stuff.
ISS.
Speaking to here.
So talk.
Yeah, mine are pretty bad.
Wow. Do you have like back surgeries or back issues?
Yeah, a little bit.
So what would you do with this magical butter machine if you got it? Would you make butter, oil, or limoncello?
I think I'm gonna start off with the butter.
Okay. Okay, good answer. Because if you said limoncello, I'm hanging up on you. Okay, good answer. Okay, Anthony, okay, let me ask you a question. You're a card-holding patient in New Jersey?
Yes.
Oh, right. How come how come me and Wayne haven't smoked with you yet in Willingboro? We need to go to Willingboro, Wayne, and smoke with him.
I've been messaging you on Facebook, and you told me to go to Greenleaf, so I tried the blueberry out. I don't think it's the best, but it gets the job done.
Anthony, is your last name begin with a B? Okay.
What'd you say?
Is your last name begin with a B? Okay. Now,
My
Okay.
last name?
don't worry about it.
I know who this is. Okay, I think I know. Well, we're going to come to Willingboro if you win, and if you don't win, we're still going to come to Willingboro. So the question is, Anthony, what is the meaning of life?
The meaning of life is to experience life.
The meaning of life is to experience life.
Okay, keep going.
Could you be a little bit more broader?
And then what happened?
So you're experiencing every day. So whatever life brings to you, you just got to deal with that. And whatever life brings to you, everybody is different. So it's just going to be a different answer for each person.
So what's your answer?
Yeah, I want to know, do you believe in God?
Yeah, I believe in God. I believe that you want to be happy, have kids, and, just keep living life until the end of life, I guess.
What happens after you die?
Hopefully, you can live a second life, and that life will be better, or maybe you could start from zero and hopefully have a better life.
Wow. And then what happens after that life's gone? Do you get another one?
That's cool. I like that.
What'd you say?
How many lives do you get?
You said how many lives?
Yes, sir. How many lives?
How many lives should we get is the question?
Yes.
I would say, hopefully, maybe 3 lives. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's probably enough. So,
Yeah, that's enough.
so what are you smoking on now? Are you smoking blueberry
You
or?
must be smoking some good stuff.
Yeah, what do you-
Yeah. I smoked the Sativa. It's called Fuma. And I smoked the blueberry. Now I'm about to smoke another joint of blueberry.
Wow, that's a lot of joints in one day, sir.
I just rolled up like 8 joints, just to keep going.
You got to have Jenny Storms come over with that salve she has. She had some salve that she put on my neck and my back. Oh my God, I feel so much better.
Where else can it go?
Yeah, sounds good.
Get any of that sexual salve?
I'm sure you can use that for whatever you want, Wayne. Whatever you want.
Oh, can I borrow the rest of that then? Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway.
Jeez.
Good thing the cans.
That's the Tuesday night show, Wayne. This is the Thursday morning show.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I can't be good on the Tuesday night show no more. It's all about the kids.
Okay, so Anthony, I like your answer. That's pretty good. Okay, we're gonna take your name. You obviously you're not a child, so you only get one name in the hat. But your name will go in the hat for the month of August.
What do you think about that?
Is that fair? Do you think that's fair to put two names for a kid
And only one for adult.
and one for an adult?
What'd you say?
Okay, we're gonna have a hat at the end of the month.
If you can't
okay?
answer the question.
And everybody puts their names into a hat. But if you're a child, you get to put 2 names in the hat.
What's a child?
How do you feel about that?
Oh, yeah. That's fair, man.
That's fair.
And that's from a contestant. That's from a contestant.
Okay, so when you lose to a child, you understand.
I don't think you would mind losing to a child. That's because that's what we're doing this for. Our children, because you know what?
The children.
Cavemen took care. Yeah, cavemen took care of their kids. Cavemen. And now we have throwbacks like Chris Christie killing our kids. Come on, man. No, the kids are the future.
Yeah, I think they should win overall.
All right, that's a really good answer. You might get two. I might give you two just for that answer. Sneak one in for you. All right, Anthony. Thanks for playing, man. And I hope you feel better.
Thanks for calling us up, Anthony.
And thanks for listening.
And good luck.
Good luck, man. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Peace, brother. Hey, I like that guy. Hey, he's cool. I get to meet all my Facebook friends now.
Wow, is that what it smells like that?
That's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Meeting all my Facebook friends and talking to them. I like it.
That's great. Your Facebook friends are calling me. I love it.
Yeah, how come you didn't call me? Hey, Anthony, why didn't you call me? Because you give your number out. That's why. This is great stuff, Jenny. I am loving this. What is that?
Don't ask. Just take it.
Where's my water? I'm in a lot of pain today. I need it. Whatever you got, I'm taking.
I'm good.
I'm
good,
picking up
Mike.
what you're throwing down. Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, my.
Woohoo!
Hey, guys.
Hi, Cindy.
Cindy.
Well, that's an interesting call from Anthony. Okay, let me put this. This is why I need a producer, because now I have to work and put this in the box. Thank you, Dan. Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
I already got 3 hugs from you.
I know. I wanted to talk about our tour. You got a bucket?
Well, now hang out, because we're talking to Frank Taney right now, and we have to pick his brain
about the magic butter.
Let's educate Frank about magic butter.
I think everybody should have
Do
to
tell.
be educated.
Yeah, because the magical butter machine.
Magic butter?
I of course forgot the machine, but it does everything. It makes salves, oils, tinctures, butters. It's very convenient for parents of sick kids. Are you going to talk? Are you going to have your own conversation here while we're doing a radio show now? Really?
At least she doesn't have a mic.
I don't want to give you a mic. I'm
No,
afraid to give
don't
you.
give
I
her
am
a mic.
afraid. Let me talk to Frank first, and I'll give you a mic. I promise. I promise. Eat some pickles, and I'll give you a
She
mic.
wants a little pickle.
And a pickle.
Like I did that backwards, huh? Okay.
No, Frank is actually going to be. You're going to be here occasionally to give us advice. And
Absolutely.
I love this. Answer
Advice.
questions. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make it a regular thing.
This is great. This is great. And eventually, I think in a couple of months, we're going to get peer pressure. We'll get him stoned. We're going to get Frank. I swear, we're going to get Frank stoned. Just like Bill. Where's Bill?
I think the dog is thirsty.
Bill didn't get high for a year. Then he hung around Wayne, and he got high.
I'll neither
That's what
confirm or deny that.
My water and it came over sniffing.
He's just a lawyer. He's just like not gonna get high
No,
with us.
we're not going to mess with Frank. Frank's cool.
You know, he probably got high on the way here.
We want to keep Frank straight so he can help us when we have problems.
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of legislative action in the next year and a half, and I think it's going to be in a better place for this movement
You okay, doggy?
by 2016.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
What do you think about the future of cannabis as an industry? It's probably the biggest industry growing right now.
Huge.
You know, Taney, I got to tell you, I have products that I can't. It's like I want to make this flower. You see, this is what I was trying to talk to you off camera earlier. Now, I can't make my flower legally because I'm in New Jersey. Now, we know eventually it's going to happen. This is why me and you can have a great relationship, because I plan on patenting whatever products I make.
It is possible to get patents on man-made versions of plants. It's a whole.
How do we do this?
Well, we'll talk offline.
Okay.
Hey, I like this. Can we say anything online about this?
Well, no, but
Can we tease it?
To your question about the future of the industry, yeah, there's too much money to be made. Trust me, all the legislatures are. They have a sense as to how much they're losing every year on taxes. That's part of the political will equation. And then there's a social journey we have to make to remove the stigma associated with it. That's another part of the journey.
I hate that word, stigma. I drove through a town the other day. It said no stigmas here. I think it was East Hanover. East Hanover said no stigmas here. I want to smoke a joint under that sign.
Your hometown?
Yeah, my hometown. Hi, Greg. Greg, get a mic. Here, can this mic reach you? What's your question there, Greg? This mic. Here, grab this mic. Grab Wayne's mic.
I was just wondering, what do you think about the idea? Do you ultimately think it's fair that the state should benefit so heavily in the taxation of pot? I mean, as a growth industry, think of as they're sitting there rubbing their hands together. Basically, I suppose this money is going to go back into whatever they have continued to be doing to those they've been doing it to. I'd be interested in your opinion on this.
Yeah. What you think about that there, jerky boy? What happened?
I lost my mic.
There it is.
Wait, repeat the question. I'm lost here.
Pretty much. What he said is the money, the taxes
they're gonna
that
waste
the state's getting from the legal medical marijuana program.
In Colorado, it's going to the schools and the roads.
He didn't ask you about that. He asked you about Jersey.
Well, you know,
what is Governor Christie going to do with this blood money?
You can't answer that because it's corrupt. New Jersey's corrupt. You know where that money's going.
Well, the nature of municipality these days, local, state, federal, having a hard time supporting all of the things that are going on. Either things change or more money is found and pot is the new gold rush. Is that what we're basically seeing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the question I ask is, do you want to hand that much more money over to the same people who have been responsible? Look at how much time, effort, and money you've put in to working on this thing. You never should have had to, right?
Of course not. It's
but
horrible.
Look what it's done.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just asking the question, is it really right that the government should benefit as much as they are going to from this?
That's almost a rhetorical question.
yeah, you could ask that about $1 of tax revenue. I mean, there has to, we're a modern nation state. I mean, there has to be roads, there has to be infrastructure. We all benefit from an educated workforce. We benefit from a national defense. We benefit from government funded research like the internet. So the issue is, I don't think there's we're sort of branching into political economy here, but what modern nation state exists that's truly libertarian, that can defend itself? Name one. The issue of, I could always criticize what's done with the tax dollars, but for my money, it's a big step up to regulate and tax it rather than ruining young people's lives, for example, convictions for this stuff. It's part of the larger war on drugs, but particularly with respect to marijuana, you look at the hypocrisy of the way it's regulated versus tobacco and alcohol. There's no principled difference there.
Did you guys call for the blowers?
Blowers? What blowers?
They don't like us.
I don't hear no blowers.
Sometimes they turn the sprinklers on. When we were over there on the annex, they turned the sprinklers on.
This is a family radio show. Don't talk about blowers.
Hey.
Marondami.
Oh. This is the Thursday show, Greg.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Tuesday nights, we take it a little.
We'll call you Tuesday night. We'll talk about that.
Wednesday, it's not Friday. It's Thursday. It's called scheduled.
Oh, yes.
We are going to call you. We'll call you Tuesday.
Are we even Facebook friends?
Yeah, what's up with that? Why don't you be my friend on Facebook? Why are you ignoring me? Why are you shunning me on Facebook?
Did I shun you? I don't think did I get an invite? Did you send me an? You're just pulling my leg because my Facebook presence is so.
Give him a mic.
My Facebook presence is so small. I mean, I keep just.
I told you Tuesday night,
Greg. Listen, I love it when people praise me on LinkedIn, when they endorse me.
Yeah, this is typical. Jenny's showing us.
Jenny's showing us pictures here.
This
is
just typical Chris Christie.
Come on, man. Really?
The guy he can't regulate a diet.
How many scoops is that?
And he wants to tell us how to regulate marijuana.
Seven scoops of ice cream. Now I'm hungry. I'm starving now.
Every time I see Christie, I'm starving. I have to go to the bathroom or I have to eat. Every time I look at that guy.
As long as you don't get horny.
No. He just, he's talked about sex the other day.
Yes, he did.
Let me go get that up on the computer. He brought up his sex life. He started talking about condoms.
Yeah.
Chris Christie wears condoms, really?
Chris Christie
Really?
was proud that
I
he's
bet
a
they're
Catholic.
edible. I bet
He's
they're
a Catholic, and it's okay that he uses birth control.
Okay.
This is like he's a rhino. He's a Republican in name only.
Hey.
What kind of birth control?
Well, he
Excuse
actually he declared that
It's going
him
south.
and his wife used the rhythm method.
It's definitely going south
The
again.
rhythm method is an old Catholic.
Oh my God.
You know, like when the woman would have her
Here we go.
her period.
Oh,
you know,
God,
like
come on.
that'd be the best time
No.
for the man to whatever.
Chris Christie brought this up. We wouldn't be talking about this. I'm turning your mic off, Cindy. I swear to God.
Really, turn her mic off.
First of all, we
We're
have to
giving
switch
you
places.
news. We're giving you news here.
You're talking about yucky stuff right now.
That's what
And
your
I've got
governor
real facts.
spoke about.
I've got real facts. Listen,
That's what your governor spoke of.
I've got something good. What if he's wearing edible condoms?
You like big guys, don't you?
No, I'm just saying, what if he's wearing edibles?
I'll hook you up with Christy.
You know, they do have edible condoms. They're in strawberry. You're
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to cut me off.
Cut her off. Cut her off, damn it. Cut her off.
You leave my mic on? Because I know how to turn yours off, too.
Just move over a seat, kid.
I turn yours off.
Right here.
I'm going to mute your
Papa
ass.
squat. Papa squat.
Okay. Now you have a mic.
All right, now be good.
But take a breath, and other people talk too. Other people want to talk.
Can I raise my hand?
No.
Yeah, raise your hand.
Can I pinch you?
Raise your hand.
Pinch?
That'd be
Pinch
good.
him. Nipple
I'll
pinch
pinch him.
I swear to God.
He likes the nipples.
I think so.
I swear to God.
Oh,
That's how he want
like
to punch you. He doesn't like.
Oh, yeah. He wants to be turned on.
So wait, what were we talking about? Now you totally distracted me. We were talking about something important.
The rhythm method.
There we go. The rhythm method of Chris Christie's rhythm method. Oh God, I'm gonna throw up.
I think we were talking about his edible condoms.
Political primary system.
Who puts the condom on, Governor Christie or
Wayne.
Mary Pat?
Mary Pat.
You
Mary
think she
Pat.
dresses him with that? That's horrible. Why? Why did Chris Christie bring that up? That's awful.
Did he really
Political
bring
primary
that up?
season.
So, hey, you hold on. The best part was it was in the diner. People were eating during this freaking conversation.
What, do you know the name
You
of
should
the
have saw
diner?
the people. No, I don't know the name of the diner, but like this old dude, he's like going like, oh God, what a play.
You know, they should have a picture of him on the wall now doing a condom advertisement. You know, he's
This
a
guy.
perfect
That's too
poster.
funny.
Yeah, he's a perfect poster for like birth control anyway.
Oh.
Wow. Sorry, did I say that out
That's
loud?
nice.
I like that. You just gave me an idea.
She didn't
Yeah,
raise
you
her
won't-
hand either.
A condom
I
ad
didn't
with
pinch
Chris
him either.
Christie's face.
Yeah, perfect inside the condom or condoms. Yeah.
wrong.
Ooh, hold on. I just got a better idea.
Okay, keep going.
That
Maybe.
tastes like cannabis.
See, I'm gonna make it like the conservative way. Maybe we can get like a picture of him, and then this way the Mexicans won't come to New Jersey.
You think that'll scare them?
Oh,
yes.
Whoa.
My.
See a picture of Chris Christie going, come to New Jersey.
Can we have a scratch and sniff picture?
Little Jose will be like, hell no.
If it smells like cannabis, they might come anyway.
Come on, man.
If it smells like cannabis.
Yeah, I think they'll still come.
That's so racist.
No. No.
It's not. It's American.
It is.
That's
It
not
is.
racist.
Well,
They
Christie's
call
a
that, like,
racist.
nationalist. That's so nationalist.
Christie's a racist. He's following Harry Anslinger's racist policies. So
To a
he's,
T.
he's a closet racist.
To a T.
I don't understand why he promises things and says he's going to do things and tells people whose hopes are being lost because their children are sick that he's going to help them, and then he turns around 2 days later and he like makes a joke of it. And I don't get it.
Well, he just said he supports medical marijuana in Iowa.
And
in Iowa, not New
the rhythm
Jersey.
method.
Hello.
He said he supports the rhythm method.
He supports the rhythm method and medical marijuana in Iowa. So I think he lies on everything.
Lefty.
What lie do we believe? Hi.
So you got to get a microphone. So.
Hi.
Susie Q.
Susie.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a guest from.
At this podcast, people just walk up. It's great.
Yeah, so
It's
you
a
never
beautiful
know who
thing.
your
Amazing.
Guest is gonna be.
Amazing.
It's a beautiful
Always
thing.
have surprises. I love it.
Yeah. Sometimes it's people coming to ask for help and education on the medical marijuana laws and benefits.
Sometimes it's just people asking for a joint.
Well, that's not here.
It happens.
How about
Not
people
here.
looking for a
That's
magical
like-
butter machine?
Yeah.
What's the
Well-
number for the magical butter machine, Wayne?
Yes, Wayne. What is that number?
862-222-3332.
Be dialing.
Yeah, you call in and you can win a magic butter machine, but you have to have
MB2.
a medical marijuana patient license.
Yes.
From New Jersey, because it's only for New Jersey residents this time.
You say, who says that?
I do.
I'm not going to say no because I don't like borders.
Really?
I hate borders. So if somebody lives on the edge of Pennsylvania and New Jersey, what if some bum lives in a
Oh,
river,
yeah, okay.
all right, and he wants a magical butter machine. He's
All
a
right.
bum living in a river.
You got it. You know
Give
what?
it to him.
All right.
I'm going to give it to him.
All right.
Give it to him.
Delaware, call.
He can
now.
steal electricity from a light
All my
and plug
friends
it in.
from Delaware, call.
I posted this on all the pediatric cannabis boards because
So-
I want children
yeah.
to win this machine.
Yeah, yeah.
These parents need help, man. Parents need
Yeah,
all the help
yeah,
they can get.
Parents should. They're
They're
the
suffering
best.
along with the kids.
Yeah, the ones that are trying to save their
So
children
let's-
that have to make the edibles and.
Let's help them. Help these
Yeah.
children. So what's that number again, Wayne? To win the magical butter machine.
862-222-3332. I think that was it.
Be dialing, people. Be dialing.
And if they don't dial, check the number. Make sure it's right.
Well, that's the number. Trust me.
Okay.
And our technology is great. We speak into a box and we can hear you. I love it.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm waiting for my interface. Any
And
day
please,
now.
if you're gonna call,
Any day.
please, call us on a landline.
Yeah, call now.
Don't call
You
us while
can-
you're driving.
You can talk to
Don't
me.
call us while we can't hear you.
Anybody who wants to call and talk to me, call.
And turn your phone down or your computer down.
Don't call that number to talk to her, though, please.
I'm
all
figuring
right,
my
hold
cat.
on. I'm gonna interrupt the show. What's up, Greg? Less space. Less space on the speakers.
Less bass.
You know it's all about
How is that? Is that better? Is that a lot better? Oh,
All about the bass.
Okay, I
not
got
the
you.
bass,
So
no
when I play
trouble.
music, will you take a breath? When I play music, I'll put the bass up.
So, mommy.
I've never seen anybody not take a breath. How do you do that? How do you do that? You just
Well,
keep.
I'm evolving.
You
and
talk backwards, like.
I can't talk backwards. You want to hear me talk backwards?
I am
Listen, you have to come out
evolving.
and act moves.
I
Now
am
listen.
evolving.
Okay,
Yeah.
I am evolving because pretty soon you're not going to have enough oxygen either. So you better get
Oh my
used to
God,
not
she's gonna
using
steal
it
your
all.
oxygen next.
I'm serious. I can say that without a smile.
Stop it.
No.
Jim, don't you want to sit back down?
No, he
No.
wants to have a sandwich. He's hungry.
Jim's hungry as hell.
Yeah.
Jim, do you have munchies?
Yes.
Maybe.
I think Jim was
Possibly.
stoned this morning.
Immaculate.
Immaculate Lake. Good possibility.
He's wearing his Jimi Hendrix shirt.
Jim
Oh,
Miller.
that's a dead giveaway.
Come on, man. You can't hide it.
That's a dead giveaway.
If I was looking for weed somewhere, I would definitely come up to you with the Jimi Hendrix shirt.
Yeah, and everybody come out to the State House right now because we don't have a whole lot of time left out here today, but we got free hugs. Free hugs.
Free
going
hugs.
Free
on.
hugs. Free
Free
hugs.
hugs at the State House. So come on down, get your free hug, and then go chat with some patients and educated nurses and activists and people that really know the medical benefits of the medical marijuana and the program. So if it can help you with any of your illnesses, or any diseases or any kind of ailments that you may have, just give us a call. At
Sorry, I don't listen to you. I'm sorry.
the number.
862-222-3332.
Because you could also win a magic butter
862.
machine if you're a patient.
That's the key. The key is we're giving away every
Yes.
month a magic butter machine,
Be
MB2.
That's right.
And see, you don't have to live in New Jersey to get it. You can be in Delaware, Pennsylvania.
Don't worry about if you have a card or not.
Yeah, whoa.
I know she's gibbering and jabbering, but
Oh,
no, that's
man,
not
I
how
thought
it
we had
works.
rules.
Yeah, the rules are you call the friggin' phone number, and boom.
Well, Lefty
We
said
put your name in a hat.
he wanted to give it to a
Hello,
parent.
hello, are you still talking?
Oh my God.
Jesus, oh, Lord have mercy.
Children get 2 names in the hat. There you go. That's the rules.
And they are the rules.
Sorry if you don't like it. There you go, Greg. Grab a mic. That's it.
Maybe you don't
is
like
this
it.
on? Okay. Question.
Yes.
Did, in fact, Chris Christie come back to the State House 2 weeks ago today, late in the afternoon, as promised. You remember he came, he was in Patterson.
What
was the result?
That's Jim.
Oh,
Jim Miller never gave us that answer.
I stayed back there with Jim Miller, and Christie didn't show up, but the news showed up.
Yeah,
because obviously the news thought that he was going to be here. I did too.
Yeah, Jim, okay.
I was here with Jim. I decided to stay
Poor
with Jim.
Me and the other
and then
Oh, we know what you did.
Yeah.
We know what you did, Greg.
Yeah, we all know what you did.
You went over to that place over there, and you did your first whatever. Remember?
I saw it.
Turkey burger.
We didn't see you since then.
Turkey burger. Turkey burger.
Give him a mic.
We wanted to make sure you were okay.
What did you? How was that? How was that?
The dab was.
I was trying to save you with the turkey burger.
It was the bomb.
The best.
It was remarkable. You couldn't have described it for me. I understand now that if I do it again, I'll breathe it differently.
Yes.
You remember? Okay.
I tried to give some
advice. It was like last minute instructions. It's like, it's going in your veins. So. Thank you so much.
That was the last time we saw him.
Thank you.
I'm just making sure you're okay.
I haven't
Greg.
seen you since that day. I don't even know if you.
If you would have listened to me and exhaled, you could have thanked me.
He wasn't here last Thursday. I got scared.
More than likely, yes.
Yeah.
Had you been a little bit faster? See, you're
I know. I was a little slow.
Rabbit.
I waited till you got red in the face. Then I said, "Hey, exhale," and he's like I forgot.
It must have been the peer pressure.
Yeah, it was. It's the moment in time when you're going through other dimensions, and it's just.
All right, Cindy. No, we're not going there.
All right.
We're not talking about aliens or ghosts or what's the other thing? No, we're not going. We're talking to Frank Taney about legal issues today. You have any legal issues to ask Frank Taney about? Like one issue and stay on topic.
Okay, legal issues. We want legal issues.
If the aliens abduct me, can I sue them? Can I sue them, Mr. Taney?
I've got a lot. But first of all, I want to be able to grow my own medicine. What's wrong with that? If it's an organic plant, I want to grow it organic. I want to grow my own medicine. Why can't I?
Well, they have a concern about riding herd over all that, and they also want to regulate and tax it. And I think eventually, I think eventually we'll get there. But under this current regulatory scheme, and certainly during this primary season, given the political stance and sort of space he has on the spectrum, there's certain issues that he really can't, that he would view as political suicide, right? It's why he's out there talking about rhythm method and seriously.
About the money.
Well, it's his conservative bona fides, right? Because he's, we probably have a different view of him in New Jersey than the rest of the GOP electorate does nationwide, and we wouldn't think of him as to the left here, but there are quarters where he's viewed that way, and so he has to tack to the right. And so these social issues, religion, sexual behavior, and then marijuana, that's his opportunity to tack to the right. And what I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if some of that went away. I don't think he's going to be the Republican nominee, but we'll see. If it so happens he drops out and there's sufficient political will elsewhere in the state for legalization or relaxation, certainly after he's gone, but perhaps even in between the end of his candidacy and his term, we might see that shift.
Yeah, because
2018.
A lot of people are moving to other states, like what is it? Rhode Island allows patients to grow something like 75 plants.
Maine? No, not Rhode Island.
Where was that?
That's probably somewhere like Maine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking like people should be allowed to grow maybe one or two, just for their own personal use. People can't afford the prices that shouldn't be taxed. I'm prescribed 2 ounces a month. That's $1,060.
70.
Yeah, when you tax
$1,070, and I can't afford my medicine.
When you tax it to that level, you're just creating arbitrage opportunities for the people that are going to grow it in an unregulated fashion, and it's counterproductive. I agree with you.
Yeah,
that's been the experience in Colorado. That's the assessment as to why. I mean, they've made a lot of money, but they haven't made as much money as they predicted, and that's because people are circumventing the legal system because you're taxing it too highly. So.
Yeah, because the taxes on that is to $70, isn't it, Wayne?
Forget about the tax in New Jersey.
Yeah.
$500 an ounce.
At least.
I mean, you're a lawyer. I can go in the streets. I can get better medicine for $250.
Anywhere.
I have no doubt that that's what people are doing. So, I mean, when you tax it that way, you're creating the wrong set of incentives.
It's just the price they put on to begin with.
Oh, it's insane.
Because when we were promised, patients were promised that when the dispensaries first came out, there would be $300 ounces. We never saw that. 500 and it ain't going down. It's.
And the qualities.
It's weed. Weed is weed.
The quality's always changing. It's not always good,
They're telling us they're capping the THC at 10%, and they're not smart enough to understand what the hell that means.
Yeah.
They're just not. That's like talking out your ass.
I think the work paper or the white paper, whatever they call it out in California, it's this comprehensive document. They're talking about, legalization or the process of it. And that's one of the things they talk about, regulation of the quality and the consistency of the quality. But it's a start. It's a start. It will get better as it becomes more accepted.
I've heard that for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And no offense, a lot of the time I'm hearing that from my assemblymen, from my state senators, and I'm sick and tired of hearing, "Oh, don't worry. When Governor Christie gets out of office, it's going to get better."
Yeah, 2016, right?
With my ailment, I could be dead before 2018.
A lot of us. Yeah.
I mean, they got to realize in order to get a freaking card in Jersey, it ain't, "Hey, I have a headache. Oh, give him a card." Oh, no, it's you
gotta have proof.
You can't just have cancer. You have to be diagnosed under a year to live. So you can still have cancer, and I have a year and a half to live. You can't get your medical marijuana card. For real? Is this a joke?
That's the way the regulation's structured. Yeah, I'm certainly not in favor of it.
And they keep telling us, "No, don't worry, it's going to get better. Give it time. Give it time." Hell,
Governor Christie's always
3 years later.
Oh yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I know in Massachusetts where it was legal marijuana, they had that way before New Jersey did, and they still don't have a dispensary. I mean, so I get, but it's like the attitude they give us is just shut up, be happy with what you got. And if we're going to claim that this is a medicine, that's not good enough.
Well, it's a kind of effort. It requires a sustained political will and effort. That's what it requires. The same way with gay marriage, frankly. It was a.
You keep bringing this gay marriage up
because it's an analogous.
Want to get married?
What's that?
Nothing.
You're talking to the wrong guy about gay marriage.
You know what? I feel that the gay.
No, he's right.
The gays
when I say
out of the
I'm a moron,
than
but
the
when this
pot
guy
smokers.
says it,
Well, no, it's if you look at the history, it started out as a patchwork of states that allowed it, and more and more people, society-wide, asked questions: why should we have this treatment of this situation?
they got loud.
Then it got.
That's
to
what we got to do.
Then it got to the stage where corporations, not just the people dressed up in crazy clothes, for TV opportunities, on the Supreme Court House steps, dressed in drag and all that stuff. When it became corporations saying, "Okay, we're going to leave Indiana because of your regulation, it's going to cost you," then it became overwhelming. And so that I would suggest that it requires that kind of
We all
effort.
have to leave New Jersey.
No corporations. You need money. That's what you need. You need someone going to say, "You know what? We kind of stand behind you, and if you don't get what you get, we're just going to take our money elsewhere."
Yeah, they're going to move.
And
so it's
to a
going to take
marijuana-friendly state.
When and if, and I think it's when California legalizes, and you see the size of that market, like I think I said offline, it's the economy's approximately the size of France, and you see the numbers start getting racked up for and the tax revenue, and those are all those are all dollars that are going to California rather than New Jersey. And the same way with legalization of gambling in Pennsylvania. It happened.
But yet they're having a problem getting water in California, right?
Well, that's a different issue.
Yep.
You know.
All that money can't buy them the water. It's a shame.
Maybe the weed could buy them the water.
Well, there's a lot of.
We already know the
fires.
number one cash crop in California for the past
The Emerald
God knows how many years
Triangle.
has been marijuana.
The Emerald Triangle. Right?
It's the combination of the consistent political will and effort behind it, and then enough change societally in attitudes. There's not everybody. You'll never get in this country, for example, everybody in favor of gay marriage. That's not what it. You don't have that today, but it's a constitutionally protected right now because enough people changed their minds and enough money and power got behind it, and so that it's that kind of dynamic. When I hear 3/4 of the municipal prosecutors in New Jersey are in favor of legalization, that's the type of societal change in attitude it's a predictor.
I do have a question about that because I feel like we're more of a profit to them. They make more money off of arresting patients and arresting people and taking their houses and all their possessions and sending them through the court systems and stuff. I mean, you don't have that risk, right? I mean, we've got a big risk just being medical marijuana patients or just being a patient without, being able to get a license that needs this medicine and uses it for self-medication, and we're at risk of losing basically our livelihoods and making our condition to the point where it could kill us. There's been many people that have died in jail and being arrested for simple charges like marijuana.
Well, if you're talking about,
so it's more like a war, I feel.
Well, sure. I don't think the country as a whole is ready for the whole war on drugs argument. But in Philadelphia, there's now a fine system for. In other words, you get fined instead of
25 up to an ounce and 100 if you're smoking.
What is that? Yeah. That's the city council coming to the conclusion that it's better for the fabric of that city, instead of messing up some young kid's life.
Exactly.
Right. Let's make some money off it, and that's sure.
And not make it a criminal offense.
Yeah, I guess there's some, and so when I see, to my point about the municipal prosecutors, those are the guys. They're on the ground. They see what the substance, or you want to call it a drug, what it does to the community, what it doesn't do to the community, right? And so for you to be in favor of legalizing it, that's an assessment by 3/4 of them saying, you know what, I see the kids and everybody else who's using, in the community, and, for all the money we spend and cops that go out and something bad might happen because somebody's has a weapon or something. On whole, I'd rather we spend our time on other things.
Yeah, this is alternative natural medicine.
The problem is the prosecutors came out against the drug war, but they're still prosecuting people.
Yeah.
Well, they have to because it's their job.
It's sad. It's really sad.
It's their job. You don't get. There's only so much prosecutorial discretion you have. If you're not going to be employed if you don't bring the cases that are there to be brought.
So they'll just put another. If somebody doesn't do what they're bidding, they'll get fired and put someone else in their place.
Sure.
Kind of like Al Qaeda. It's similar to Al Qaeda, right? Isn't it? Yeah, it's like.
You're talking about quotas they have to meet, right? Like they have to meet quotas.
I'm not in law enforcement, so I don't know. But
well, I've heard this. They could get a steak dinner. Whoever gets the most.
A steak dinner.
Brownie
what
points.
Are you talking about?
I don't know. There's brownie points
Steak
for
dinner.
And brownies. You're making me hungry now. Steak and brownies. Oh,
brownies.
You get brownie points
and
for giving
steaks.
out tickets.
I had one of your brownies the other day. It was good.
It
was given to me. You gave it to someone else, and I got it.
You got it?
Because everything
You
gets to me
ended up with
eventually. It all gets down to me
I got it.
eventually.
Well, why don't you just...
And I got your brownie.
I would have gave it to you.
No, you didn't give it to me. You gave it to someone else, and they gave it to me.
Oh, man. I would have gave it.
Yeah.
I have some...
I would have.
I have some
I embrace solutions,
I-
not excuses.
I got yummy chocolates. not on me. You'd have
Yeah,
to
I
come
had them.
with me.
I can get them. It's never here.
Being
Lefty.
that Lefty shared his ice cream cone with me.
Play this.
Yes.
I know she's talking. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. That's the best part.
yeah,
Play this.
we all went
Now
out
watch
for
that
ice
dude right
cream.
there.
But I've used birth control.
Oh!
Now look at the
not
dude all
just
the way.
rhythm method, okay? So, you
Look
know.
at the people. Look at
my
Lefty.
church, my
Look at the
church
guy.
has a teaching against birth control.
Are you looking Lefty?
Does that make me an awful Catholic?
I know rhythm control.
Because I believe
Guy's covering his
practiced
eyes.
that function during part of my life.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Don't
think so.
work.
But you know what? I'm only going to find out when it's my time to be judged.
Amen.
I'm
Hallelujah.
gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up thinking about
Are
Chris
you watching
Christie.
the people in here?
Chris Christie having sex? Come on,
And
really?
not just the rhythm method.
In church.
Oh,
Is that in church? Is he saying that?
No, that's at a diner.
He's talking
Oh
about
my
sex in a
God.
diner. Really, Chris Christie? You're obnoxious.
Yo,
Do you
where's
know
your
what
camera
the
at,
rhythm
Lefty?
method is, Wayne? You know what that rhythm
I know what the rhythm of the night.
rhythm method.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
There we go. There we
There
go.
we go. We're back.
Can you see me now?
Hello. All right, now we're going to talk about Chris
talking about the
Christie's
rhythm method.
Now, there's two different ways to take this rhythm method, you know.
No, it's not. No.
There's two ways.
No, it isn't. What the hell just happened?
I don't know. I'm sure the voice is still working, so we can keep him excited while Lefty's trying to get the camera to work.
No,
So
the rhythm
Wayne-
meth isn't like,
Oh, yeah, it is.
I feel
It
it.
goes
I
to the
feel
beat.
it.
It goes to the
Pull
beat,
back.
to the beat, to the
I
beat,
think
to
it
the
is
beat.
approved by the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
It is.
The rhythm
So
method
his-
is approved.
His theology was
Yeah.
a little off.
Oh,
Yeah.
the rhythm method. You're talking about like certain days of the month that you
Yes.
avoid.
That's okay, according
Oh,
to
like,
the
That's
Catholic
the
Church.
like the
rhythm
girl,
method.
she'll take her temperature
The
and say,
rhythm of the
"Honey, I'm
flow."
ready. My temperature's at
You know
the
the
right
flow?
degree."
Perhaps if he studied his catechism more, he would.
You
have
know,
known
it
that.
doesn't work. The rhythm method. You know
Just
what
saying.
You know what they have a name for people that use the rhythm method. You know what it is? You got it. You
What?
said parents. Somebody said parents. Somebody knows. Oh, the clever kid over here. He knows that the rhythm method is called also
Paris?
parents.
Parents?
They're called parents.
Parents.
Yeah, yeah. You know, because you know that stuff can stick around for quite a while.
I went to St. Vincent's. We didn't have those kind of things.
Oh,
I was an
come
altar
on.
boy and I was a
like
choir boy.
3 days
hey,
sometimes,
whoa.
just swimming around in big
Okay,
ocean
okay,
of
okay.
love.
Okay, we
Cindy,
get it.
Cindy.
I'm talking about Governor Christie.
No, you were talking
I don't
about
know what
other
you were
stuff.
talking about, but you're just going on, and I don't understand what you're saying.
The big ocean
I lost
of
you.
love.
You lost me.
She's talking about it stays back for 3 days.
You lost me.
She's disgusting.
Exactly.
I am. I have to manage you a little better, Cindy.
What?
Exactly. She was manageable.
This is the fourth hug today, Cindy.
Hug. Hug Mr. BJ face.
I'm going to turn her mic off if you say that again.
Your mic goes off if you say that's too loud.
I'm trying.
I'm good with you. I'm so good with
I know you're good, but you got to take a breath so we can say something. We have to talk. At some point, we have to say
Jackie.
something.
Hi. Yeah, Jack and Jeannie are here.
Jack.
I'm so glad to
Jenny,
see
Jenny,
I have
Jesus
just called you that
Christmas.
since I met you. Can you
Jeannie.
change your name, Jenny?
Everyone calls her Jeannie. It's like, who the hell is Jeannie?
You know what? I'll remember that. 8575309. Is that it?
Wayne, give out the number for the magical butter machine.
Call
862-222-3332.
Jenny, right?
Say it again.
I don't want to.
Give a call if you want to win a magical butter 2 machine.
862-222-3332.
So far, there's only 3 contestants this month, so you have a good
We
chance
got
of
more
winning.
than 3.
I want
Three?
marijuana.
No, we have 3.
Jenny and Jack's count as one.
Jenny,
Jenny.
do you need a machine?
Do you have a telephone?
You don't need a magical butter machine, do you?
Do you have a cell phone?
You have one. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I told you, I know everybody who has machines. I would have asked her. Trust me. I know everything. I'm
But
Illuminati.
She did play, you know, the...
No, Jenny's taking. Believe me,
You
she'll
gave
take
her
care
all
of
the
you.
questions.
You don't take care of Jenny. Jenny takes care of you.
I want Jenny to take care of me.
Yeah, you want.
Oh, yeah. She's a nurse.
You want to solve.
She's an RN.
Oh my God.
Sponge bath. I mean, SpongeBob. SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Stop it. Okay, guys. This has been a fun show.
Yeah. sad that we
But
have
all good
to
things
go.
must come to an end.
We'll be ending it soon.
Ah.
Anything pressing we want to talk about besides Chris Christie's
Yeah,
rhythm
you know
method?
what? I got something I want to talk about.
Uh-oh.
Something I'm pissed off about.
Yeah.
Actually, this is what I got to find out. I got to find out from friggin' Laura Barber. Okay? I can't find any of this out about in the news or anything. This is what I get from Laura Barber. Apparently, we're thinking it's under 45 days that our governor has the bill on his desk for. The bill being S3049, or it's also known as A4587. We're all thinking that this bill has been on his desk for 45 days. Not 45. We thought it was probably around 40. Moral of the story is, it isn't.
It is. Where to go?
We have to wait for the Assembly and Senate to come back into session.
And is that after his presidency or before?
Oh, it's way before. And it's not his presidency. Save it. Actually, the NJ State Department is on summer break. So their time doesn't start ticking until they come back. Sometime in either September, October, or even November. We don't even know when the frig these people come back.
I heard they were going underground in September, the whole bunch of them.
What a job.
So technically, this thing isn't on his Governor Christie's desk.
Or agenda.
It
right
doesn't
now.
have 45 days. It does, but you have to wait till they come all back into session.
We'll have to ask Jim Miller about that. He probably knows.
You know who would know?
I was
Ken Walski, the executive
Ken
director.
Ken Walski.
Where
Ken
is the
Walski.
executive director of
Excuse me.
CMMJ.org?
Shout out to Ken
Ken Walski.
Ken
Calling
Walski.
Ken Walski.
In the house.
Please
I'll call-
come to the mic, Ken Walski.
Nurse Walski.
He
Nurse
tunes us off.
Walski.
Nurse Walski.
Nurse
Learn
Walski.
to tune us out.
Nurse Walski.
Come
He
here.
finally answered today.
Yeah.
Come on, get over here, nurse.
We need you.
Nurse
We
Walski.
need you.
We're
It's Jen-
We're so rude.
Are you guys out of here,
leaving.
Jaxie?
Jaxie and Jenny's
Jaxie and
leaving.
Jenny.
You going to the Weed Man's joint, right?
Jenny's
Okay.
leaving.
We'll see you.
Okay.
867
Wait for us. We'll see you there.
5309. I won't forget again.
Take care. Hopefully we see you soon.
Jenny, I'll see you down
I
there.
don't know why.
Mr. Walski.
I think
Hi.
you look like I dream of Jeannie. I always.
Here, have a seat. They have a question for
dream
you.
of Jeannie and Jack.
Actually, the question is, I was talking to Laura Barber yesterday, asking her where we are on this 45-day for the bills known as S3049 and A4587.
Right.
About the children, special needs administered during the middle school.
Right. That would allow well, it would actually require the schools and developmental disability facilities to adopt policies that would allow qualified patients to use the marijuana while they're in school in New Jersey. Yes, that bill that passed went through the legislature in record time in just about a week. It was introduced in June 22nd, and it went through the Assembly and the Senate by June 29th, and it landed on Governor Christie's desk on June 29th. Yes, that particular bill.
That bill actually doesn't, it's not, the 45 days official countdown hasn't begun. Hasn't even started.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that, Wayne.
According to Laura,
Mhm.
we have to wait until they're in session again. And when they come back in session, she's not even sure if it's September, October, or November.
Probably September. It usually comes back sometime in September.
That's when the 45 days would actually start.
See, I don't know about that because the Assembly passed a bill and the Senate passed the Assembly's bill. The Senate didn't pass a Senate bill. The Senate passed the Assembly's bill. So if you look for this bill in the Senate, it didn't pass. It's kind of weird.
Oh no, it definitely passed in the Senate.
It passed. They passed the Assembly's
well, right.
version.
They passed
fast-tracked
the Assembly version.
Yes.
Right. They fast-tracked it. There was actually no committee hearing in the Senate on this bill.
Right.
Which is very unusual. But anyway, I mean, it definitely passed, and it's waiting on the governor's desk. As far as I knew, it was there was a timetable for him to respond to in a reasonable time. But
Timetable doesn't officially start till they come back into session.
Yeah, it could.
Because she was telling me
that could be.
They're hoping
boy.
that their case that they have
Right.
against that school,
Right.
the judgment is actually supposed to be on the 10th of August, I believe she told me.
August the 10th. That's
yes,
Monday.
for the judge it did, and he is due with his decision on August 10th.
That's very
unless he
interesting.
gets an extension.
Ah, okay. Yeah, they're suing the Lark School and the Mapleshade Board of Education for not allowing. Roger and Laura Barber are suing the Lark School and the Mapleshade Board of Education for not allowing their daughter to use marijuana during school hours. You know, she needs to. She has a seizure disorder, and she's on the autism spectrum, and she has behavior problems because of that. And she needs to have a steady state of the marijuana. She's been through just numerous anticonvulsant medications, and she even had brain surgery to try to control her seizures, and nothing was successful until she found marijuana therapy. And this has been a wonderful control for her seizures and also for her disruptive behavior due to her autism. But she's not able to get her noontime dose. And so, it's been a real problem for the parents, and so that's why the parents are suing the school. It was Judge Kennedy, I believe, in the Office of Administrative Law, who is hearing this case and who will be rendering this decision. That's good information to know that Monday this decision is due, unless, of course, he does get an extension, which he may very well. I mean, I think the whole point of this bill in the legislature was a result of this lawsuit. And the publicity that was garnered because of the lawsuit. I mean, it was in People magazine, it was in Good Housekeeping magazine. So, there's a tremendous amount of interest in this particular case, and we certainly hope that the case is resolved in a positive manner for the girl Jenny Barber, and we certainly hope that this bill is signed into law for the other people who are affected by it and who need to take their medicine also. During school hours, it's ridiculous to say no. It's an illegal drug and it can't be used within 1,000 feet of the school when it's medicine that's for a qualifying condition that the state of New Jersey recognizes.
Amen to that.
So
we need clarification on that now. Do we need clarification still, or does Laura know something we don't know?
I would think Laura would know something that we don't know.
I would think so, too. So we need to find out more about this.
Because she seems to be on a ball.
It certainly sounds like, if it's coming from Laura and Roger Barber, then, it certainly sounds like they've looked into it more deeply than we have.
Yeah.
We just assumed that, once it landed on the governor's desk that the clock started ticking and gave him, 45 days to
They're waiting for the clock to start ticking.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Their poor child is suffering, and they're waiting for the clock to start ticking.
Yeah.
Not Steven, stop. Start.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And then they make it, on top of that, they make it look like, hey, before we went to our vacation, we did everything we did. We did everything we could. Now it's all in the governor's hands.
Wow.
I think they're playing us for fools.
Wow.
Didn't Jim Miller also talk about the edibles? They have to throw the bill up before anything can get done. That's on Assemblyman Numbnuts.
Assemblyman.
That's what I'm going to start calling him until I get the damn bill up. I'm just kidding. I say that out of love.
We don't want to alienate our best supporters.
Oh, now she says hi.
That's what Chris Christie called him.
Who's here? Ed Weedman, Fortune.
Hey, Weedman. What's up, man?
NJ Weedman. Get him my microphone. We got a mic over there.
Stop for a second. I was actually on my way to get some barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce, yeah. That sounds racist.
Actually, I was going to get some watermelon.
I got some in my car.
What'd you just say? I'm not going to say that again.
Ed just stopped by from the joint, his New Jersey Weedman's joint, the great little restaurant he has over on East State Street, right across the street from City Hall.
Yep, that's the greatest aspect of it. Directly across the street from City Hall.
Awesome.
Yeah. Hey, where's the camera? Oh, there it is.
Well, now he cares.
I got a mug for the camera. Where's wait a minute? What did as Steve Hager said the other day that I was an egomaniac. Always trying to get in the press.
You are the press. What are you are the press. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's so unfortunate, that medical marijuana and marijuana reform advocates, attack one another. We really need to be circling the wagons. Certainly, there's enough people who are willing to attack, everything that we're doing to reform marijuana laws. And to get this from a fellow, advocate for marijuana reform is very discouraging. I was very sad to see that, Ed, quite frankly.
In all honesty, I kind of sniped at him first.
Oh, I don't believe that at all.
I did. I admit I did. But I did it off of memory from years ago. That's what happened. Like I remember I used to be called the radical on the left wing, and now I'm listening and watching them say the same things I used to say. So I had to jump in and chime in on his new religious church.
Well, before we go, we're closing up for the day, but you called me with the best idea I ever heard in my life. We're going to dress Wayne up as Chris Christie, and during rush hour, we're going to go to the George Washington Bridge during rush hour and have him eat a bunch of donuts and yell at commuters with your mouth full.
Well, that's not what I said.
No? That's what I just
I said stand right by the bridge, right by the Fort Lee sign.
Yes.
Have him on the phone.
Yes.
And he can be saying things like, "What? He's not supporting me? I got something for him. Close it down.
Shut it down." We'll have cones. We got cones, too. We're bringing those cones with us.
Yeah, there you go. It'll work. Hey, take your hat off, man. What's up?
Yeah, is it green? Your hair's green, bro.
No, it's not green.
Oh, okay.
It's not green.
I heard you were trying to dye your hair. It came out green.
I did. It did a couple days ago. That shit.
Oh,
don't use that CVS shit,
man.
Jesus Christmas. I had to go for the Just for Men. I had to spend the extra $1.
Get what you pay for, man.
It's only $9.
Looking good, Wayne. Looking good.
Looking good. Does the curtains match the carpet?
No, it's
kind of
never
like
mind.
the difference between a streetwalker and a call girl.
Oh. Is there one?
I figured Wayne would know about that. I don't know.
Wayne?
No, I'm just kidding.
About $100. That's the only difference.
See, he knew. He knew the difference. No, I had to throw that out there. Sorry about that, Wayne.
Don't be sorry.
Wow.
I'm surprised you didn't stop by yesterday. Just because I told you I was at work, bro.
I
smoked.
basically was saying I was coming over.
Everyone knows where I smoke.
I was
Morris County again?
I was a couple miles from his house.
My house too, you know.
Well, I texted him, said, "Dude, what are you doing? I'm gonna come smoke a joint." He texts me back, I'm at work.
At work.
That sounds like no. Don't
you know
come
where the
by.
fuck I am. I'm at work.
Would you think that?
Hello?
So I kept on going.
I
and
never
then
get
later
those
he
calls
goes,
from you.
And then later he's like, "Actually, I think I did call you too, but I forgot to mention I was around the corner. Didn't I talk to you yesterday?"
Yeah, but you didn't tell me you were smoking a joint around the corner.
Yeah, my bad. My bad. I think at that point I was already heading home. That's what happened.
Ed,
Yeah.
Jeannie wants to visit with you at the joint.
Oh, she can.
Oh my
She can.
God.
I was hoping she would.
I was gonna go to the joint.
Don't worry. He calls
I'm
him
going back.
Janie,
Actually, I was just
too.
running around the corner from here is a place to get barbecue sauce. I was going to get barbecue sauce, and I figured I'd
I know.
swing by real fast.
There's a joke in there that we can't talk
We
about,
can't
all
say
right?
nothing about that.
We can't. We just got to let it go by.
Jenny Storms. Jenny Storms is here, in from Colorado, New
Yes.
Jersey medical marijuana refugee. Jenny Storms and her
Yes.
son Jackson,
Thank you for coming in today, Jenny. Thank
outspoken
you.
advocates for medical marijuana, had to leave the state of New Jersey in order to get appropriate medical therapy for their son with the seizure disorder. So, thank you for stopping by, Jenny.
Jenny,
Really
thank
great
you.
to see you again.
You know why we're here? Because of her. She started this thing on Thursdays.
Oh,
You know?
yeah, that's right.
Jenny
Yeah.
started this.
Right.
So we appreciate you starting this, getting us on the right track here.
Thanks for continuing it.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
So don't forget, Tuesday is the Coalition for Medical Marijuana New Jersey, our monthly meeting from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Lawrence Township Library, about 5 miles north of Trenton on Business Route 1 and Dara Lane. The public's welcome to stop by.
Is that going to be online or anything?
No,
Not yet?
we don't do that. We have the board hasn't agreed to that yet.
Okay.
There's too many patients out there who come to our meetings and divulge too much information that they probably want to keep among a supportive group rather than just anywhere on the internet. So we're very protective of the people who come. We're very protective of their privacy and their medical issues. But we do invite the public. We serve snacks from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Lawrence Township Library, and the public's welcome to come out. I mean, it's going to be this Tuesday, so mark your calendars. And I'm Ken Walski. I'm Executive Director of the Coalition for Medical Marijuana New Jersey, an organization that I formed about a dozen years ago with Jim Miller in 2003. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to another wonderful podcast. Telling it like it is. See you Monday. SativaCross.com, medical-freedom.com, magicalbutter.com, NewJerseyWeedman.com, SativaCross.com, FullyBakedRadio.com. See ya!